What is going on, every freaking body? Welcome in to episode number 29 of, I'm just gonna say it, the best goddamn podcast in the fucking universe. We've blown past the internet and the world. It's now the best podcast on the fucking universe. Not challenge any of you goddamn intergalactic motherfuckers to come at us. That's all I'm saying.
Honestly, he
All I'm
just wants
saying.
to find proof of aliens. That's
That's,
that's all
you know,
this
that's
is a
all.
ploy
Look,
for.
look, look. I'm tired
Very
of waking
true,
up with
very
my
true.
butthole hurting. I just want to know that there are aliens out there probing it. That's all I need to know. That's all I'm saying.
Right, that's enough for sin.
But anyway, welcome in. Like always, we got to kick the show off on a hype note, and I hope everybody is hyped up. I mean, it's fucking podcast day. Bill, are you hyped?
Always hyped. What are you?
Oh.
What about you, Scruff? Are you hyped?
Yeah, hell yeah. What do you
You
mean? Are you
lollipop?
kidding me?
You're muted.
Hell
dumbass.
yeah. I'm not muted.
You're muted, dumbass.
I'm
All
not
right,
muted,
You
bro.
lost your turn. You're muted. You're still muted. Yeah. Enigma, are you?
Wait,
hyped?
I actually was muted. I thought you were kidding. I don't know how I got muted.
No, you lost your turn. Enigma, are you hyped?
Damn it.
So hyped, man.
Oh my god, you're so loud. I gotta turn.
All right.
I got my lollipop. We're good to go.
Back Discord.
Good, nice. Everybody, make sure that you have your lollipops. It's important.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for being here, and hopefully to all of our viewers that are live, you guys are hyped as
Yeah.
well. As always, we do these shows live across not only Twitch but also YouTube. We are cross-platform these days, so make sure that you are watching us live, and if you are listening to us on Spotify or on our YouTube channel, which again podcast, and all of the channels will get you the link. You can go and listen to us. If you have to dip out, if you have to bounce for whatever reason, you miss a part of the show, you can catch up, or go and check on all of the other 28 episodes that we've got out there. I mean, that's a shit ton of episodes, guys, and there are pure content. There's pure content out there. But in any case, you can come check us out live, whether it's my channel over on YouTube or you've got Scruffy's channel over on Twitch, as well as Bill's channel on Twitch.
What up? What up?
We keep the channel, we keep all the chat live. We engage with you guys, which is awesome. You guys actually are able to, interact with the show, and we try to keep it spicy. And we make sure that you guys have a voice here. As dumb as sometimes it may be, we try to answer everything. I'm just kidding. The stupidity trust comes from this side of the camera. Solely probably this angle right up here. This top corner. This is where all the stupidity is, right up here. But anyway, kicking off the show. Normally we kick off right into Twitch drama, but you know what? We have something more important to talk about. There's one thing that always will trump Twitch and YouTube drama. That's we got a new member of the pre-patch team, boys. And
Hell yeah.
Let's
and
go.
Bill, I'm going to turn this over to you to do the introduction here. As only properly so. I think that it would only properly come from you.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
man.
Welcome on in, newest pre-patch member, Jen Pork Chapo. He's a good friend of mine. He's been a moderator of the channel for a while, and he is now a fully fledged pre-patch member. So welcome on into the troop, Mr. Pork Chop. We're happy to have you.
Happy to have you. Welcome to PP.
Welcome to the PPs.
Yes.
Got
I
about
don't-
15 of them actually. Like,
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a lot.
That is
It's
a
not
lot.
bad.
Yeah.
It's a
it's,
lot. It's
it's an impressive amount.
It's a sausage party over here.
I mean, there's
Gosh.
some teams that have like hundreds of them, but I like having 15.
Yeah, it's a good number.
It's good. It's
It's-
good, nice number.
It's not
and,
too many PPs, just enough.
Well, we're hey, look, we're trying to branch off. We started going into the just chatting section, so we're trying to look for some talented.
We don't want those kind of PPs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why not?
We don't
right.
want the just chatting PPs. Okay.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, welcome Pork Chop to the team.
Welcome.
Happy to have you over here. So, yeah. So going into it, look, we've talked about DMCA for a long time.
Oh yeah.
and we
Yep.
talked about it at nauseum. And amongst all the bans and amongst all the kind of shit that happens, right? This one I feel like is at least the most hilarious, possibly that could have happened. when it comes to DMCA. You know, Twitch is trying. I'll give it to them. They're trying to solve the solution when it
No, they're
comes
not.
to
They're
DMCA.
they're
I'm
not
the
doing
most-
very
I'm the
good.
most- I'm the most asshole when it comes to Twitch, right? Like
They're
I'm
not
the one-
trying.
I'm just saying, bro. They tried.
If they were trying, they just pay the fucking
Yeah, I get
DMCA
it, but
fees.
all I'm saying is it's at least a tiptoe in the right direction. Like
Showing that they're all trying to follow their own rules for
But-
better or worse.
This might have been
Hey.
a tiptoe in the wrong direction though. This might be going back a little bit.
I think it's hilarious because personally, I don't like Metallica, and I think Metallica is a bunch of assholes.
I mean, it is
anyway.
funny, but I
Oh snap!
say it was a
and me
band
get
you did
about to
like,
have
though.
A fucking conversation right now.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Pork's gonna roll up as well.
Say it was like
you're about
Green
to get
Day
a
or
double beat
something.
down.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I like Metallica's music. The band is a fucking bunch of dicks. They're
I
100%
think one member of the band is a bunch of
Yeah.
dicks.
How about Lars? Lars is an
Yeah.
ass.
Yeah, Lars is the worst. I don't think any of the rest
Well,
of
you
them
are-
are.
James is awesome. I've actually met James. I went to one of their concerts and he was a fucking amazing dude.
Whenever, yeah, he's always amazing. Whenever you're paying him money. Whenever,
I mean, it's a fucking concert, of course.
whenever you are fucking on, you're such much of an ass that you get on South Park, you know that you've made. That's how you know you're an ass. And I'm
You're
just
there.
saying they have been on South Park multiple times, so they are an ass through and through. But
No,
what we're
I don't
talking
agree.
about is the fact that during BlizzCon's online, event, right? They paid for Metallica to have their opening ceremony or whatever it was, right? The band was playing. Metallica was like, "Oh, because of COVID, we can't, we can't be there live, but we're doing this show and blah blah." And all of a sudden they kick in, and it's like they go into Inner Sandman, and then immediately, not even two fucking notes in, if you're watching Twitch's stream, right? It immediately goes into this 8-bit folky like fucking music, and I legitimately thought that there was something. I thought something broke. I was like, "Oh wait, no, this can't be right." Like,
I can
And it-
legitimately just imagine like the Twitch's like back end where they got over their fucking headsets and shit. It fucking Enter Sandman starts on and shit, and all you hear in the back is shut it down, shut it down, shut it down right now, shut it down right now.
Do anything. Play the 8-bit music.
no, I'm not kidding.
Philip Harris Keller stuff now.
That would have at least been appropriate. Like that would have at least fit in some way, shape, or form. This was like the most like, and then you've got like fucking Metallica just over there going rah, 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 and like you see them, but it's going to
Jesus,
like
dude.
It's
kind of music,
hilarious.
and it just
It was actually comical, like it was
Yeah.
a Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah.
the most hilarious thing ever to see. But what's weird is that if you go over to like BlizzCon's or Blizzard stream, like they were streaming the music. So like Twitch only stopped it on Twitch. Like it was only on Twitch's channel did they stop this from happening. Everywhere else was you could listen to Metallica play Inner Sandman, on this concert. But
And before the Blizzard channel gets shut down for DMCA.
I was gonna
Right.
just say, yeah.
yeah,
I'm
so,
surprised they
like,
didn't.
that's my question. Are they gonna go? Like, are they gonna go after them for this? Like, is Twitch or are these DMC? And also too, like, but you know what? I'm so frustrated because it's just like I'm flabbergasted. Literally, it's just fucking up my train of thought, my speech. The crazy thing about it is that Metallica would be the fucking band to be like, "Oh yeah, no, we're gonna play. I know you're gonna live stream it, but we're DMCAing all of the people that are streaming this. So like Blizzard, I know you paid us to be here, but we're also DMCAing you."
Well, it's,
because,
it's not it's not Metallica the band doing the DMC strikes though.
Yeah,
It's
I know
their
it's
fucking
fucking
recording
record
artists.
agency or whatever else, but it's still the fucking band. I'm still saying it. I don't give a fuck. I don't like.
It's
Metallica.
not the band though.
Metallica's a bunch of dicks.
That's incorrect.
And Metallica's a bunch of dicks. That's what we're getting. To.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
just saying. But no. I wonder if inside the clause, that reality taking my buffoonery down a notch. I wonder if inside the clause that they actually allowed, or basically was there saying, "Hey, we're streaming this. Like, it's going to be streamed to X amount of people. You can't come after us for DMCA rules."
But yeah, I mean, as long as Blizzard
would-
has the rights to the actual songs at that
I
point, like
would-
if they're being paid to be there, then technically Blizzard does have the right to stream.
Which
that
is
music.
most likely why Blizzard didn't mute anything because they didn't have to. Twitch
because Blizzard
itself
doesn't
did-
give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
Blizzard
but-
probably has the
if-
right,
if
but Twitch
anybody,
never
If
paid.
anybody would have had the right to broadcast that performance, it was
Yeah.
Blizzard, and
Yeah.
Twitch most likely did not.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, Twitch absolutely didn't. So I don't know. It was just hilarious. And I wonder, like, that's again the other thing is like you had a bunch of streamers that were streaming that,
Mhm.
like Lyric was doing it, Soda Poppin was streaming it, all of the WoW people were streaming the event. Um, where does that fall, right? And this is again, we've talked about it ad nauseum. We're not going to go into it again. Like this is where DMCA rules are just fucking ridiculously stupid.
Well,
They're just
Um,
archaic,
in
man.
in the past, like that's one thing with Blizzard and their BlizzCon that I fucking can't stand is in the past, like they're the only ones on Twitch that can stream their BlizzCon, right? If you're like watching BlizzCon and you're streaming and you're playing WoW and you just have it up in a corner, they will take you down.
Thing is, though, Twitch
100%.
openly said that they want people to co-stream the Blizzard event.
yeah, well, I think that was this year because of COVID and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Since there
thing.
wasn't the live event, yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they said that, and then people had to
I-
go and mute their audio because of
I don't
Metallica
think you
playing.
could, I don't think you could buy virtual tickets on
No,
No.
it was free. But
Yeah.
that's the thing is that's the reason that I'm talking about is Blizzard themselves are a-okay with it, right?
Yeah.
But because Twitch is so hyperventilating about anything to do with DMCA because they don't want to pay the fucking licensing, they overreact to this kind of shit.
No, I mean, I get it. I don't know. It's fucking crazy. I don't. I just, again, we talked about it nauseum. Like this is just ridiculous. Like the world that we live in right now with this in the streaming kind of world where everyone is like, this freaked out. But here's the other thing I don't understand because like I was watching American Dad, Pay Money Wubby, a bunch of other people, and they were listening to like Shania Twain. American Dad was like listening to Shania Twain. Then he was listening
It's
to
It's because
know,
people don't care.
Yeah.
like
They're just like, well, whatever, dude. You delete my fucking VODs. Big fucking
Well,
deal.
yeah,
Okay.
so that's why I think it's like I don't know, it's just weird. I don't know. It's whatever.
And I think Twitch is doing something in the back line right now too, because like I've had a couple streams where I've honestly been just listening to music that definitely would be DMCA striked and all that, and my VODs should be muted and all that. But my
Well,
VODs
just-
haven't been. I mean, my VODs haven't been
it-
muted. A lot of stuff hasn't been muted, so I think they're playing with something.
I don't think they're doing anything. It just goes right back into the what we've said multiple times before.
They hit it hard and then they
go into this,
disappear.
they go into this Twitch DMCA bullshit where they're just like hyperventilating about everything, right? Because they get slapped with a huge fine. 3 months down the road, where are we at? We're back to everybody fucking playing music because
Mhm.
nobody gave a shit to begin with, you know.
Well, I
And
mean,
until the point that Twitch gets slapped with another big DMCA suit, I
Yeah.
don't think.
I mean, YouTube, YouTube, you have no workaround at all. Like their system immediately recognizes and takes it. And
That's a
basically,
flagging system. It's a
they
AI
don't-
flagging system.
they
on that
don't
one.
go in and take the VOD down. They just basically go in and say you can't earn money on this.
Yeah.
But
I've also seen a few streams where they'll actually like interrupt the stream, like put up this stream is broadcasting copyright material until
Mhm.
the streamer like stops playing that, and then the stream will go back to being live. Like
Yeah.
they don't like end the stream, but they'll put like a banner over it.
Oh
and,
wait,
like,
not the
'cause
purple banner
Markiplier
of
had
death,
that
right?
happen. No, not the purple banner of death. Just being like, this
that's another thing we got.
streamer.
That's Twitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purple banner.
Oh,
death,
you're
yeah.
talking about YouTube.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was.
Yeah, we're
Yeah, I'm
talking
talking
about
about YouTube.
I was-
Like,
yeah.
I was watching Markiplier stream the other day, and he was playing some video or something, and then the stream just went up with a banner saying this broadcaster is in violation of DMCA laws. Stream will resume once content that is violating this stops. And about 10 minutes later, he came back on, no problem.
Which it's weird, like, and because on that side of things, like the other, I don't mind necessarily the way that that YouTube does it. You know, I've not had that. Also, I don't play. 9 times out of 10, I'm not playing any kind of music on my stream or whatever else. But like, I like the concept of just being like, look, like you're just not gonna be able to advertise in this, but it doesn't really affect. Obviously, I was a live streamer, not someone that's creating videos on a more regular basis. Like, it doesn't. There's ways around it because again, most of that stuff you're getting super chat, you're getting donations. Like where you're getting your money through that is not through ad revenue; it's through the other side of it. But I don't know. It just
I don't know.
It's
I still call bullshit on that whole excuse,
no,
right?
it's still
Well,
fucking stupid.
yeah.
I mean,
The whole excuse that because you're listening to music and you're being paid to entertain, the people that are paying you are coming for the fucking music, or you've got to be a genuine fucking narcissist
Oh
to
no,
think
absolutely.
that people are coming to somebody's stream
It's just
solely to listen to their
it's not
music.
about that. The reality of it is it comes down to money. Like that's
Yeah.
just where it comes down to money. And the fact is that money could like Twitch, especially on the Amazon side, like you pay Amazon for Amazon Prime. You know, you should be able to play Amazon Prime Music. That's where it should end, right there, right? On the YouTube side of things, if you pay for YouTube Music, you should be able to stream music. You know, as a bonus, you should be able to stream music on your
Or
you know,
or
Yeah.
or just out of the multi-millions of dollars that streamers make for the platform, they
Of
should
course,
just
yeah,
pay
absolutely.
for
No,
the fucking licensing.
so, the other thing that you did bring up, Ruff, was actually a really good point. Is I almost forgot to talk about it. Is the fact that one of the things that Twitch is doing that I don't agree with, and this is fucking dumb, and I don't understand the point of it or whatever else. And YouTube actually went down this route a long time ago, and they stopped it. I don't know if you guys remember if whenever like the whole thing was you couldn't embed a YouTube video inside of a website
Yeah.
without it causing issues and basically coming up with a banner that said you can't play this.
Yeah.
So Twitch now is doing that. And the crazy thing was I can't remember. It
Oh,
was
was it GTA? Or
uh
there was an in-game event where they broadcasted a
you had to
Twitch.
watch it. Yeah,
Yeah.
inside the game. I think it was it
Was it
Fortnite that it did it too.
or Apex maybe?
I don't know. It was one of the bigger games,
Yeah.
and you had to watch the event inside the game,
Yeah.
and it was pulling from a stream. But guess what? This purple box of fucking death showed up that said, "Oh, hey, by the way, you're not. If you want to watch this, watch it on Twitch."
Yep.
And it's like,
Live
what?
in the game. And I think it was PUBG actually, thinking about it. I think it was a PUBG event.
It was one of these fucking things, and it was just fucking crazy to be like, "Holy shit!"
Mhm.
But what I will say that
I know why they're doing it. I
it's
think
inflating the fucking numbers. So if you look at someone like Fextra,
it's another botting issue.
right. There's a great example of this, which is Fextra Life. Fextra Life, I love his channel. I love his stuff. I watch his stuff all the time. I enjoy their streams. But guess what? 90% of his views are from an external website that someone is pulling off a wiki, right? And it's just embedded down in the bottom. So like if you happen to have that wiki up, well,
You're technically viewing extra
right, you're
Extra
technically
Life.
viewing.
Right.
Hey, but so that in itself is an issue. I understand that this is not the fix for that, right? Like this is not the fix to do this, and to fix the botting and the lurking and or whatever else. Like the issues there, the way of fixing that is basically just saying, hey, a viewer doesn't count unless they are actually inside of Twitch. Which that is honest to God is just literally a fucking not an iframe. Why am I blanking on it? A tracking pixel that can literally be put in as soon as you're on that site. Your mouse has a tracking pixel. The tracking pixel is then recognized by the system to be able to count as a viewer on your channel. It's as simple as that. Why they don't want to do it, I don't know, but that's the case. That's where they sit with everything. So
Because it's Twitch and they're lazy.
but yeah, this idea of putting up a fucking purple box in places is crazy. And I think not the NFL. I want to say it was I know it wasn't a game, but there was a big fucking event that this happened. I know it happened in NYC in Times Square because in
Did
Times
it?
Square there's
All the
there's a big
screens?
ass screen that shows, and they were doing an advertisement for Twitch, and it pulled directly from the stream and it cut it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
in the middle of Times Square, you see this big purple fucking box that says, "If you want to view this, view it at Twitch." And it's like, what?
That's funny.
So I don't know. It's just, man, dude. I don't know. It's just fucking crazy. Like it's
It's wild.
Mhm.
And
That's
Bill,
Twitch.
not to leave YouTube out of this, right? YouTube obviously has their drama. Bill, you were bringing up something that showed that like YouTube was banning or taking down people's
Yeah,
stuff.
so there's a few YouTubers that I watch that have recently come forward with. So they are some more like, I don't want to say controversial because that's not the word, but their content is more along the lines of stuff that could potentially be like reprimandable. I don't know if any of you guys watch Houston Jones, but he basically does like jackass style stuff where he'll like see if I can take 100,000 BBs to the dick or something like that.
Right,
Like,
just
that
dumbass
kind of
shit.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what he does to get
Do
through
that
this
every Friday night.
he
Yikes.
will submit the videos to YouTube before he posts them for manual review. That way, he's 100% sure that they're not breaking any like guidelines or anything. If they get approved, then he'll post them up. If they don't, he'll come up with something else and do another one later. Um, but so he had a video from 7 months ago that he put through the manual review process, and just this week it has been removed, and he got a strike against his channel for that video that had already went through manual review. So
Mhm.
I don't know if YouTube is like going through and changing their quality guidelines or whatnot and just not informing people, or
Could have
what's
been
going
reviewed
on.
by two different people. Like
Well,
manual
once it
review.
goes through a manual review process, it should
It
be
should be
like
noted.
stamped
Yeah,
good
stamped.
forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Then they could be like
Well,
reviewing stuff
and
again.
he's
then.
not, and
we-
he's not the only one that's had this
we
going on. I
all-
think PewDiePie actually had a video get removed through the same methods
Well,
recently.
we all know that YouTube isn't that great on their manual reviews as of late.
They're not, but like I was saying, unless something has changed with their rulings and such,
There's been a
If
lot of
so-
stuff changing with
it-
YouTube.
if something
of
has
late.
been manually reviewed in the past, it should be stamped good to go, like
I mean, that's 7 months
throughout
ago
its
too.
lifespan.
You know, that's
or
a good,
if
good time.
if something did change within it, they should
Well,
at
they-
least be giving a notice, because they didn't
They
didn't
did have-
give.
They did have a big change to their TOS recently that's hit a lot of people with their content from like years and years past. So
Yeah,
that's not
like I said,
actually
this-
that surprising.
This one was just 7 months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not giving any reasoning for these takedowns either, for like the strikes and stuff. They just say that it breaks guideline X, and they're not giving any reason why it was reviewed fine before and not now. The video in question was he took he drank one beer for every for every day that he was in quarantine or something like that over the course of like a week.
So you drank
Hmm.
7 beers.
No, like
Or he
like-
drank all the beers in a week.
no, I'm trying to remember the context. It was a high volume alcohol drinking video, just for stupidity's sake, and
Well,
they
it's
flagged it for harm to oneself or others or some shit like that.
it's not surprising to see YouTube not give a clear answer to why it was striked or taken
I mean,
down.
Twitch is just as bad about giving like
Yeah,
Gray
this,
area
both
or
are.
no
I'm not.
answer, but-
I'm not saying Twitch isn't either. They're all in that same boat. I mean,
Yeah, that was just something I wanted to bring up, because I have been seeing it going around more so recently, especially with manually reviewed content of the past being like, for whatever reason, being deemed not okay now. And
yeah.
it could be what you said, Enigma, with the TOS changes.
Yeah, they had a huge TOS change about, I want to say like 6 months ago, 5 months ago,
Well, I
somewhere
mean,
around there.
Look at YouTube
So-
change for TOS.
Yeah,
every-
but this one was huge. This one was like people were complaining about getting banned and getting content flagged from like back in 2012. Like their videos were coming up from like back in 2012, and they were getting strikes on their channels from a video that didn't even have to be listed, if I remember correctly. It could be private, set to private, and just on their fucking platform, and they would get flagged
I mean,
for it.
You know what? I honest to God, look, I think that all these streaming channel or platforms or whatever else should just go the way of Steam, and just as long as it's not like racist shit or whatever else, just put it up there. Let it fucking go. Fuck it, man. Like
Yep, that's
it-
never gonna
you know,
happen.
it doesn't like if I can go on Steam and look at some of the crap that we looked at today, Enigma, whenever we were talking about those
It's not
indie games.
surprising with Steam
whatever.
though, because like
Like-
they've had a lot of that shit as of late. Like ever since their whole battle with Epic, they've been just kind of like, fuck it, open the floodgates.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I'm just saying, Steam used to take it away, and then they brought it back. And then they
Yeah.
took it away, and then they brought it back. Or
But
whatnot.
it all started with that Greenlight. Their Steam
Oh,
Greenlight
yeah.
bullshit. Like I remember when Greenlight fucking first released. Some of the shit that I saw on Greenlight.
Oh my gosh,
and
yeah.
I was like, whoo boy,
Like that's
gonna have to get me that shit when it comes out.
there was a lot of real bad stuff on Greenlight.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just allow for the fucking allow all that shit. And whoop, hey, sorry, I'm trying to fix the multi for you guys. But
Oh, you're on it. Okay, I was also trying to fix it.
basically, I mean, just
I
if
don't
you
know how to
allow
fix
all
multi.
of it minus like the racist stuff,
The
and
obvious, yeah, like
the obvious stuff or whatever else, then I don't get it. Like, I think the problem that it goes into is that they are
It's
trying.
all it's all
Well,
about advertisers.
true.
Advertisers
But
don't want to have coochie spreading with
what are you talking about? That's already there. It's already
with
happened on fucking
with a Pampers ad. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, it already fucking happens with. I mean, why not? Look, that kind of goes hand in hand. I mean, I'm just
It
saying.
does.
you just go to
It
just
does.
They
chatting.
have their own
Or
Pampers.
you got the family friendly streams with the fucking condom ads, you know.
Dude, oh my god, I can't. The amount of times that I've seen that stupid. My kid goes up and asks me what the moan zone is. Like,
Oh God.
it's fucking nuts. So, but anyway, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the necessarily like the answer is in this case, as far as like trying to stop those kind of things from happening. But I feel like they are definitely trying to police content and make it to where it's like, okay, well, that's not your job. Like, your job is not to police what is going on. Like, who, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm, whatever else. But
It's all advertiser pressure. That's
of
100%
course,
what
yeah.
it is.
I mean, of course, but I just feel like it's one of those things where
And they want to
Advertiser.
make money, so they want to make as many like
Well,
content on the channel as
it's
ad friendly as
advertiser.
possible.
It's advertiser pressure, and it's also like leniencies in directions of how one person politically and non-politically leans to. A lot of the time, some of those flags, like the shit that you get with like the manual flags and the manual reviews, it all depends on what the fucking who is behind that flagging process and who is behind that fucking reviewing process, especially with YouTube.
yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I mean, what I don't know. Here, by the way, here's the multi-link. It's gonna be big, but is what it is.
How dare you, sir?
The bigger the better, babe.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm slapping in Bitly.
There you go. So you guys can slide, yeah, do whatever you want with it.
Damn right I will.
So well, soon, guys. I'm just saying. Hey, anybody listening? I'm at 50 subs. I need 50 more, and I'll have my own link, and this won't be a problem anymore. I'm just saying.
Let's go.
I'll whore myself out there for a minute.
Hit that big red button.
Yeah, hit that bell. So
while we're talking about hitting the bell, I just wanted to really quickly say because I told him I would yesterday. Jake over in your channel, Bill, it's his birthday today.
Oh, happy
It
birthday, Jake.
is.
So
Well,
happy
And
birthday,
we
bro.
have another
I don't
birthday
know
today
when-
too.
I don't know when
It'll
it
be
is.
his birthday
I'm
in an hour and a half.
I'm
Isn't it
pretty
Peach's
sure.
I was gonna
early,
say we
but,
have
you
another
know.
birthday too. If we're gonna go over birthdays, it's
all right, here we go. Everybody, we're gonna start singing. You
happy
ready?
birthday to
Everybody,
Holy
Hey,
Pika.
No, please. I
No,
did
no,
not,
no,
I did
no,
not
no.
sign up for
DMCA!
It's too late. It's late. Happy birthday
No.
to
To
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
Happy birthday.
To you.
to
Birthday
you.
to you.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday
Birthday.
Jake.
to you guys.
Happy birthday.
Happy
This is
birthday.
painful.
to
Birthday.
you.
Birthday you. Happy.
I'm sorry.
There, I don't think anybody could DMCA strike
I'm
us on
sorry
that
Yeah.
one.
to everybody that just had to listen to that on the Spotify. I'm sorry.
No, but Jake and Holy Pika, happy
Pika,
birthdays.
Yeah. Happy
Oh,
birthday. guys.
Pika too?
Yeah,
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Not,
Happy
not
birthday, Pika.
Pikachu, but Pikachu.
Pikachu.
We gotta get that.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Enough with dude. This is what you guys get. This is what you get on these podcasts. When we're in a good mood and we're having a good time, it doesn't
It's
matter.
just complete bullshittery, but it's the good kind.
Bullshittery.
All right. So moving
Extra-ry.
on from the drama and the dumb assery. We started something last week and we're continuing doing it where we're actually gonna start talking about what we play, and then kind of go into the news. It seemed like that was the most pertinent way of doing things and also the most effective. That way, whenever we ask for questions and stuff like that, it kind of rolls right together. So we're gonna move right into what we're playing. And actually, surprisingly enough, we're all kind of playing newer stuff. Or not
For-
new-
for-
not new-
for
or not
us.
newer for the channels,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And whatnot.
Except for me.
Yeah, you're still doing your
And me.
Immortal one. So but yeah, I'll let you guys first, Scruff. You can have at it.
For sure, for sure. So a few of you may know that I've started dabbling, more than dabbling. I've pretty been going hard in Final Fantasy 14 online, which is kind of surprising, I think, but also not, because I'm an MMO fan in the end of the day too. But MMOs they're a weird case for me because they don't really click all the time, but this one so far has been. and I always kind of wanted to get into it, but never made the dive because of how daunting the story. Everyone pretty much made the story seem, and it is quite a grind. But the way I've been doing it, it's been a little bit easier, and the people that I'm playing with have made it easier as well. So it's pretty dope actually. I'm playing on
Who
one
have
of
you been
like
playing with?
playing with a lot of people. Jumped into with some friends, like Agent Bumbuns and a nice dog that many of you may know if you're around our channels. Then Enigma and Holy Pika have kind of showed me the ropes, as well as a whole another like guild or free company in the game that I've joined up with that I've met from mutual friends, and they're all really cool too. And it's actually a really good time to play with everyone. I think I've been enjoying it a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, I downloaded it, and started messing around. What I will say, fuck Square Enix
hmm
and their fucking bullshit that I had to go through to get my goddamn account back. It
Square
is
Enix's support system is
fucking
terrible.
Oh,
crazy.
Square Enix.
It's a
They're
bad
gonna be
support system.
popular tonight.
Yeah, I'm
It,
sure they
it,
are.
it's it is fucking nuts. What you have to go through,
Yeah,
like, and just so everybody understands, right? In the world, right, that
that's
we
pretty
live
good.
in today, um, you have two-factor authentication because China tries to take all of your information all the time from everywhere, and so it's only proper to safeguard your account. So I safeguarded my account and I apply the two-factor authentication. Now, whenever you get a new app or you delete your phone or you delete yourself off your phone or whatever else, usually there's a pretty easy way of kind of going in there. You like either chat with customer service or really even like BattleNet has it really like set up pretty simple. Like they send you like 6 questions you have to answer that are that are in depth enough for you to know, but not like I need your firstborn son, to get it off there.
At least you
So
can actually contact BattleNet's customer service too,
Oh
the
yeah,
live
absolutely.
feed.
I messaged Square Enix 3 times. I emailed them. I went on their chat during their operating hours. They were
hmm
not there. None of my emails got answered. None of them. I had to go back to an email from 2019 and reply back to that email, and then got a response back, and they were like, "Hey, what address is on file?" How the fuck am I supposed to know what address I'm on file? I've had this account for like 10 years. I've had this account since before it was a Realm Reborn. So I listed them all the addresses that I had that I possibly could have lived at, right? Then they're like, "What's your product key?" And I was like, "I don't know. Why would I have my product key from 15 years ago?" And so I was like, "I don't know." And so then I was like, then they were like, "Well, what's the serial token off of the Authenticator app?" Are you fucking kidding me? How am I supposed to get that if it's deleted? Like what or whatever else? And so then they're like, well, you need to prove to us that you own this account, which okay, I get. So I'm not kidding you. I told them, I was like, this is my character name, this is my character race. I attended a wedding between these two types of characters at this point in time. I also gave them a link that showed like the Twitter war that I started between fucking WoW and Final Fantasy. And then to top it off, I was like, if you really want to fucking check and see if I own this goddamn account, here's my stream, right?
They were probably like,
And like
"Oh, this is the guy that started that war. Don't let him back.
Yeah, fuck that guy."
Don't let him."
like and then I got a response back that was like, "Okay, we believe you." I'm like, "What if someone didn't have all this information?" Like, what am I like? What I just I don't know, man. It was fucking nuts, like to get my stuff back. And then on top of that, like trying to go through their Mog station, it's just God damn it, it's so damn Japanese. It's just so Japanese. Like it's Japanese. It's fucking
That's why you buy it. That's why you go through Steam, man.
even still. Then
I don't
it's
know.
still a pain in the ass.
Then you're adding
You
a whole
still
nother
have your
middleman to
account.
it. You're still
See,
using Square
I
Enix.
have never had an issue with getting my account back with Steam because Steam like stores all of that information, your product key, your original product key, everything like that on Steam.
What? Yeah, but you still have to. It's not about getting your product key. It's about getting like you might be able to get your product key back from there, but like if you need to remove something off like the two-factor authentication, you still have to go through Square Enix. That's got nothing to do with Steam.
But
Yeah, but
you
you'd
said
be
that
able
they
to.
required a product key from
Um,
15 years ago.
but they also require that other information. The product key wasn't just it. Like they needed to also have the back of the authenticator thing. Like that was all in the same email. It wasn't like multiple emails that I got. I'm just saying it's fucking ridiculous. Like
No,
It is.
I'm not arguing with you right now. I've told you many times that I completely agree with you that Square Enix and their Mog Station are a complete fucking
it's a
joke.
joke. Like it's
They've
crazy.
been a joke since I started playing. They've been a joke since probably you started playing. it's no fucking, it's not really a big deal, like a big surprise.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just crazy. But what I will say is that, the game. I'm glad that you're seeing that you're having fun with it. I mean, I jumped in and started playing, and my biggest reason why I stopped playing was because of the slog of the storyline.
Hmm.
Which you guys are playing on like a preferred network
Preferred server.
boosted,
Yeah, it's got a pretty
whatever.
big XP boost, so it kind of speeds the process up a bit.
Yeah. But what I will say is that it's definitely. I think it's one of it's one of those games that is kind of relaxing. The music is nice. The combat
Final
is
Fantasy scores are amazing.
yeah, it's a
Yes, they
relaxing
are.
game,
Yeah.
and they've got a new, expansion coming out, Endwalker, right? I think is
Mhm.
the name of it, and whatnot. So we'll be talking more about that when that happens.
Probably
Oh, yeah.
probably hear more about it in about 5 months, 4 months, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And honestly, too, what I will say is that their free trial for anybody that if you've not tried the
It's
game,
amazing.
yeah, I mean it's like all the way up
It's
to
a lot
fucking,
of content.
Wait, have you played it, Bill? Have you tried the free trial?
No, but that is like one of the factors that has made me like more interested to
You should-
actually play it than like any other MMO. Just
You
because
definitely
there's so
should.
much. There is so I don't have the time.
Well, no, I know, I
man.
know, I
do.
know.
You literally play the same fucking game every night.
That's true. I mean, like, you do your immortal run and all that, but just dabble
No,
with the free
look,
trial a bit. You don't need to like
I
invest countless
I will.
hours into
Me and
it.
Bill don't agree on a lot of things, but I will agree on the fact that it's hard. Like it's difficult. Like
It is.
It
I'm
is,
not
yeah,
saying it's not.
yeah,
not
definitely.
like, and especially for someone that like Bill and I, for the most part, well, at least I do. I can't speak for Bill, but what I would assume is that a lot of games don't get played off stream. Like if they're playing a game, it's going to be either a content or on stream, right?
Yeah.
For the
And
most part, yeah.
so like when like for me, like I'm playing Apex Legends and I'm enjoying the shit out of Apex Legends, and my channel is enjoying Apex Legends. Final Fantasy to stream an MMO is a very difficult thing to do in on any landscape. Twitch is probably better than YouTube, but like on any landscape, it's difficult to do because it I don't know if you've unless you've got the right group of people. Like here's what I would tell you, like Scruffy, when you have your whole group in there and you guys are doing your thing and talking and chatting, it makes it more engaging.
Yeah,
But if it was just me or Bill sitting there playing the game and engaging with chat, I'm just gonna say it's boring as fuck to watch someone level. Like, I don't care whether you're leveling, like, unless you're doing high level dungeons or like cutting edge
you
content.
definitely got to gauge it on your specific like community already. Like,
Even doing end game dungeons, they can be boring as fuck
Right.
because
Yeah.
especially when you're doing like high level raids and you're sitting there for 20 minutes setting up the raid and teaching everybody what the fuck you're doing.
Right. So
It can be
I mean,
rough.
there's it's two things. It's like one, it's a good game that you can interact with your chat with, other than like a high-paced action game that you might not be able to as well. But then also, yeah, it does have its slow moments where it might not be as exciting. So you kind of weigh it on like, does
Well,
your chat enjoy the more interaction and they're not like having this slog fest watching the stream, or is it a little bit too boring for them? You kind of have to like gauge both of those.
well, and what I'll say is that it does, in like what chat is saying, Bill, you could go in there for nothing for level 60, right? There's no commitment, there's no financial, there's no nothing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that's the biggest thing that would make me want to play this one over the others is because I don't want to pay for a WoW subscription that I'm going to maybe sink 10 hours into in a week or a month or however long. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like I understand that aspect of it, or whatnot. But like for me, like I have to pay, I'm paying monthly to play the game, right? So for me, it really is that moment of like, fuck, I need to go, I want to go play this game. Right. I'm paying monthly for it. I need to go play it. And that's what has always been an issue with like WoW and things like that. So it's um, and it's great. But again, the time that I get to play video games is when I am streaming. I mean, that's I don't get to play games outside of that.
yeah,
Yeah.
streaming or my day off is like my time to shine. And whenever I do day off stuff, it's typically like some multiplayer stuff with the group. Like I'll do Siege or Smite or Apex. Those tend to be the big three. Anything other than that's me sitting on the couch playing a game while Britt's working on homework or me streaming.
And
Yeah.
and MMOs do have that aspect, and I think Final Fantasy does a good job of kind of keeping things fresh, because the one thing that I will say about Final Fantasy, unlike other games, is that you could go through and play as a white mage, right? And you're gonna be your healer, and then you know what, like fuck it, I'm bored. I want to go and now I'm going to switch over and play as a dark mage, or I'm going to play as a blue mage, or I want to play as a ranger, or I want to play as a warrior. Like, so it gives you the ability to like like bounce and be able to do a bunch of different things. Where like in most MMOs, it's like, oh, I'm a warrior, and unless you're going to fucking spend the time to level up a whole other character with all this other kind of stuff and go through all of that bullshit again,
Yeah,
so
that's
it gives you a lot of freedom.
that's
which
the
is
thing
The
that
job
like
system's
that's
amazing,
that
and it's always been another like big factor for me going towards this game over the others.
yeah, that's the thing that really has kind of drawn me into it more over other MMOs, because it's really helped with like it gives you that freedom. You pretty much can do whatever you want right now, and I think the way that I've been going into it also has helped me like kind of stick with it, because I'm not in a lot of cases with MMOs, I stick to like doing everything myself by myself because there's like a satisfaction, like a you know gratification out of that. But like this time I've been kind of allowing myself to get help from others. A few people have like gifted me like some gil, which is like the currency in the game and all that. And the thing that's fine with that is like there's not too much of a use for gil to really advance yourself and make it any easier. It's mostly a convenience thing for like teleports and stuff. So that just speeds the game up a little bit more, speeds that grind up a little bit more. So I think that's really helped as well. It's not been a slogfest of running from point A to point B, doing all these fetch quests all the time. So
Enigma,
that's
I mean,
helped.
you've stuck with it for years. Right? You're the residential like elder when it comes to Final Fantasy.
Mhm.
What has made you stick with it for so long?
I got attached to my character in the story.
You have attachment issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got attached to the
That's
story. I continue to push forward. Like I said, I've said multiple times that Shadowbringers, the last expansion that released, is one of the best expansions for an MMO that I've played in years.
their expansions are hype. Like
That's
every
just
time I
Final
see
Fantasy
them,
storytelling, my guy.
yeah, like they're always hype. Everyone's
I
always like
I
pumped
don't
up
know.
about them.
People would argue with you on that. Heaven Sword was not really seen as a very good expansion. I liked it. I didn't mind it. It was a little boring to begin to for my
That
experience.
was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Shadowbringers was really good. Stormblood, I enjoyed it, but I think that's more because I like Eastern themes and Asian themes, and that was the entirety of that entire expansion. But Shadowbringers itself got me hooked with the storyline, and like it's been the best storyline that I've gone through since probably Wrath of the Lich King. So it's been a long time since
I mean,
I've had an expansion like
I'll
that.
say it's a fucking pretty game. I mean,
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
it's a beautiful game.
And everything that you guys have said kind of so far, where you're saying you can kind of do your own thing, and you can you don't have to have an alt character for different jobs and everything like that. It's also kind of helped me stick to it, because like if I log in, I'm just like, fuck, dude, I do not want to play my dancer. I can just pop over to like a dragoon or my marauder or my warrior.
That's what I liked so much about Star Wars was the fact that like Star Wars Galaxies, not SWTOR, not Star Wars Old Republic.
Oh,
But Galaxies before pre SOE fucking it up, uh, you could do that. Like you had your character, but it was all based on what path you decided to want to take, and you could unlearn everything and re-go up another path, right? So, there was a lot of like freedom there, and I think MMOs that's something that a lot of people look at Final Fantasy and don't take as much of like how powerful that really is. But that is a very big deal. Like to be able to have one character and be able to do multiple different jobs. Like that job class system is amazing.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
And now that
It's
I've experienced it, I definitely feel like it should be in other MMOs. Like it's awesome.
Not only the job system for Disciples of War and Disciples of Magic, right?
Hmm.
But like Disciples of Land, Disciples of Hand, their crafting and gathering is like the best crafting and gathering system that I've played in an MMO in forever. In
I
my
have
opinion.
always found that crafting in MMOs has been like that boring aspect that I've never wanted to do, because it's usually
It's one click.
it's one click, it's like a grind to get the stuff, or you just flat up buy it if you have the money. And this game has
It's
been
still
different.
grind in this game.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's
there's
enjoyable. At
still
least
those aspects, but
they
I think,
give it like some life to it, making it almost a little mini game, doing all your
and
crafts.
the best part about it is it's like you look at the crafting requirements for some of this shit. Like there's crafting requirements for like a hat
Hmm.
or like a leather cap, right? the crafting requirements for a leather cap is leather. You have to go and get like string and shit like that, padding, everything like that. So it actually looks like you're crafting something, and the mini game for it is engaging enough to be like, I want to get to high quality.
Yeah,
I want
exactly.
to get this to high quality rather than just click a button, watch a progression bar, bling, you're done, and you get a percentage chance that you get high quality.
Mhm.
If you put your mind to it and you're determined enough to get high quality, you will get high quality as long as you do the fucking mini game correctly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a little bit of RNG into it, especially with the culinary I've noticed, but it's still
Not really.
Well, I mean, the
Not really.
only
You
RNG
have
is that I'm pretty
if
much you have a chance to get your condition of good and pretty much that procs your
I mean, yeah, the procs, but
that's the
again,
only like RNG I
if
see. And
if
so
if you were willing to put in the time and get the gear to
yeah,
get your quality up, you can
yeah,
fuck
exactly.
up.
Yeah, like you
You can
can
make
you
it
can
happen.
get the ingredients to be high quality, and that'll raise your quality like percentage at the start of it. So that helps a lot. But
Well, early game crafting is very RNG on those procs for
yeah,
your quality.
exactly. So I haven't experienced like the
Late
later
game
on yet.
crafting is definitely one of those things where it's like if you have high quality gear, you have high quality tools, and you have high quality food,
Yeah.
you're pretty much guaranteed all the way up until you get to Omni Crafters, which is like the end game crafting.
I would still take this crafting over any other crafting, especially
Yeah.
like the time, like the wait crafting, where you have to like make something and wait like 20 minutes for it to craft. I hated that. I hate that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what's drawn me and kept me going for. I think I've had my sub fairly act. I let it lapse a little bit because I kind of did everything that I wanted to about 6 months ago. So I've been lapsed for about 5 months.
Yeah.
Hey,
Um,
let
but
me
prior to that, I had been subbed for 3 years
let me
straight.
tell you about a game called Raid Shadow Legends.
God.
That's a topic for another time.
Is it really?
I don't know why
I
you
mean,
guys started playing that.
that's what
It's
you
good,
and
man.
Nigma are playing, and that's classified as an MMO.
Yeah.
I actually
When are you
enjoy it.
guys gonna get the podcast a sponsor from
I mean,
Shadow
Working
Legends?
on it.
Not now, man. Yeah, you never know. Maybe we already are.
Connections are being made.
I enjoy it. I got pulled in from a buddy of mine. You guys probably know him. He's been a part of the community for a while. Solid Light.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's kind of back and forth a little bit, but he got me into that. He's been playing it for like a solid like year and a half now, and just continuously going on it. It's fun. It's a good game. Yeah, the memes are there. The whole Raid Shadow Legends. If you haven't heard about it, the memes are there, but like I've always kind of been of the mindset where I'm like, I'm not gonna check it out just because of the memes, right? It's just a joke to me. But he finally convinced me, and he was like, yeah, just try it out, dude. Like it's actually really fun, and it is.
It's the same way people get you hooked on crack. Just
I
try
mean,
it out,
it's
man.
not
Just
Great.
it's a gotcha game, but like the gotcha mechanics really aren't existent.
Really got you. They got
They
you.
aren't existent.
They got him.
I've put zero money into this game. That's how successful I am.
No, but you still got, bro.
And I think it's the same for you, right, Bill?
Yeah, it's the same. I haven't put any money into it, and I'm enjoying it. The mechanics with the boss fights are interesting enough to keep me going, and it's got multiple different progression routes that I'm actually like.
Is it a pooper play? Is that what's happening? It's a pooper.
No, I'm playing on my PC.
Oh my god, they got you hard, bro.
I actually enjoy playing it on my PC more than I do my phone because it's less laggy on my PC than it is on my phone.
One of us. One of us. Yeah, all right. Well, I mean, I guess. Hey guys, hashtag ad. Go play Raid Shadow Legends. Just,
It's
Or
really
don't.
not bad. It's not, man. I will say if you pick it up, go with Elhain or what's the elf's name again?
It starts with a K.
Yeah, something like that. Either the high elf dude or the elf archer chick. Don't go with the other one. She's shit. So
Noted.
Okay. Bill, are you playing anything new except for Raid Shadow Legends? Anything new or
Is
exciting?
Bill playing anything new?
Nah, just the same old Souls games. Playing some Apex, actually enjoying that quite a bit, and Siege is always something that we be doing, which they've got some good stuff going coming up. So
I'm surprised you're not playing the Siege mobile. Have you tried that?
I've
Or
tried
is
it.
it out?
It's garbage.
Is it
I
garbage?
do
I
do.
kind of figured
Yeah.
it would be,
It
but
looked
I'm
like it.
like, and when they
Yeah.
announced it back, I think last year, I was like, "Are you serious? Like
I mean,
you're gonna
it-
try and?"
Spicy
It's
take here, but
bad.
I'm pretty sure you spell garbage SIEGE. I don't. I'm not. I don't know. That's how I spell it in my household. That's you know. Well, I tell the kids, I'm like, hey, kids, go take out the siege. They're like, oh, I got it. All right, Dad, I understand. I'm just picking. Siege sucks. But um, no, no. You mentioned Apex.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually also have started playing Apex. I don't really know why or where this kind of came from, but I know I had mentioned to Scruffy a couple times. I was like, look, I'm really wanting to get into a shooter again. I have that shooter feel.
I
Um,
know the new season coming out hooked a lot of people back in because they're really pushing like narrative type stuff, and like their cinematics have improved significantly. The rotations that they're doing, the new character is pretty cool. Like I feel like this season in particular, I hadn't really heard much about season Apex since like it was first a thing up until now. And I feel like this marketing cycle did really well on it. It's kind of what got me back into it because I've had a few friends that have been playing it for the last year or so, and I'm finally hopping in and playing with them. I'm planning on playing with you some whenever we get the time available to do so. So
yeah, I mean, so here's what I'll say. Like, I played it heavily. Anybody that knows kind of my channel or me, like, I played it heavily when the game first came out, and really fell in love with the game. And I think that they were onto something, when it first hit. What I'll say, what made me fall off that game was hit detection was garbage. Their tick rate was shit. Their hitboxes were shit, and they only allowed for trio modes, right? And now coming back to it, what I can tell you is out of all of the MMOs, all of the the battle
battle
royales,
royales.
the
There
battle
you go.
royales that are out there, maybe not Call of Duty, but Call of Duty has its own issues with hackers. Like Call of Duty could be a lot better if it wasn't just for hackers, and also like some of their mechanics are just I don't like or whatnot. But this game's like when you fire a gun and you hit people and whatever, like it feels good. There's just a weight to it. There's like a sound. There's just all of that stuff. Like is they fixed, right? The tick rate's fixed. The weapons feel great. Like going in, I had to kind of learn the new weapons and some of the ones that were there. And I can tell you right now, like, it's it just feels good to to fire these weapons, and too, like when you get a beat on him, like when you're going, how to lead your shots. The only thing I will say about the weapons that I think that suck, I don't think the snipers are any good. Now, again, it might just be me. I've watched Pika last night. He was playing in my games and he was dinging headshots left and right. But I do feel like snipers are still a little fucked and underpowered.
I would rather have two mid to close range weapons that I can swap back and forth in between than like be pegging people at a range. They push up to me, heal up, and then whenever they do push, I have an R99 that I eat through a clip in half a second, and then I'm stuck reloading.
I mean, the game's
Yeah,
full of a lot of fast movement, a lot of fast-paced movement, so they might have not.
The only sniper I've ever seen people have like success with is the triple take and maybe that charge
The
rifle
triple
if you're
take,
good
it
enough about
seems
holding
like
it.
it's good, yeah. That's what I've seen a lot of people use.
the triple take's not bad, but like the longbow, the Kraber, like I picked up that Kraber at an end game, and I hit someone in the back of the fucking head, and it didn't do shit. Like it just, I mean, it obviously did shit, like it or whatever else. But like when you're talking about in game, a red weapon that's maxed out, get it from a loot drop. If I hit you in the back of the dome, that should be an insta down, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's my
and
thing with the game too. Is honestly the time to kill is a little bit too high for my liking. I mean, I'm
see,
not saying it's got to
I-
be super small. I think it just needs a little bit of a mid range because
I think the time to kill is fine.
Yeah, I think
I
it's in a
don't
good
mind it.
spot.
It gives you like the reason I like the longer time to kill is because it gives you the time to actually like use your abilities, and it kind of takes some of a BS factor from camping out, where you can still turn on somebody if they like get a jump on you and like outplay.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I don't know. Just I guess in my liking because I usually like a little bit of a smaller time to kill
mean,
because that's what
look-
I like is doing is like sniping and all that kind of stuff. So when I don't get that satisfaction of getting those dinks one headshots kills, like there's something about that I'm like kind of sucks, you know.
Yeah, but what I'll say is that the game rewards better play. Like the game fully rewards like knowing how to get in and out of a situation, knowing your character. like, a lot of the games, for instance, last night, I was in a match, and it was because I had better positioning and better positional awareness and knowing where to put myself. And also, too, because like there was a point where it was the last circle, it was two teams left. They had the high ground, they had sniper rifles, right? But I was using my abilities in a way that got me around them, and I was able to get to a different, like, behind them or whatever else. And I was able to basically overtake them. They, in all aspects of the game, should have won, right? Because they had the range, whatever else. But because I was able to outplay them, the game rewarded me for that, right? In a situation. But there's also times too where, like, again, aggressive play doesn't always pan out. Like, it just, I feel like it's got a very good balance, and I feel like they've done a very good job of balancing the map, balancing the weapons, balancing the characters. uh there's not one character that I think is that feels necessarily overpowered. I do think that Loba needs to be tweaked. I think that, like, her ability to just fucking put her ult down every fucking like 8 seconds is crazy.
I
But
don't think. Yeah, never mind.
well, I'm just like I'm just saying there's some balancing stuff that is very very minute, right? It doesn't, like, Loba, for instance, doesn't have an end all be all. Like, just because you can pull stuff every fucking 8 seconds, you can only pull two items or whatnot. But like, I've trust me, I've died multiple times being greedy with Loba. Like,
Yeah, plus it's doing something that any other character can do anyway. She just does it more conveniently.
yeah. But it's a good game. And the one thing I will say, the one knock against the game that I will tell you right now is, I cannot stand. I think red shields are, the way that they are implemented right now, is a shit thing. I don't understand. I don't think that they should be there. And if they are there, I think that it should be a situation where once it's cracked, it cannot be brought back. It has to be, you basically
What
only get to
what
go to.
specifically is red shield? Because I'm not familiar enough.
Oh,
Like I've had red shields, but I don't know what the difference between them and gold is.
okay, so basically the whole thing there is that you have to, when you get a shield, there's a certain amount of evo damage that needs to be done. And what that basically means is that it rewards people for being in fights. So if you are in a fight and you're constantly kind of being aggressive and putting damage down range, then what happens is that it will level those shields up. So it'll go from you, it gives you, which I like, it gives the ability to say, okay, cool, I'm white, I have a white shield, I was aggressive, I survived, I leveled my shield up to a blue shield, and now it's aggressive again, and I leveled it up to a purple shield. Well, the thing is that you can then level it up to what is the highest in the game, which is a red shield, and it doesn't really take that much to do. It takes about, realistically, about, I don't know, maybe 900 damage. I don't know the exact number, but it's not a lot to be able to put down range. And in that game, you can do that pretty quickly. To put that much damage down range. Uh, but it becomes this massive shield. And I'm gonna tell you right now, like, if you've got a red shield, it's very hard to kill you. Like, it's hard to kill. And the fact that the full shield, which is like, I want to say it's 5 or 6 bars of shield, can be instantly refreshed with a shield battery,
Yeah.
right? So, like, my whole thing, and again, if I pick one up out of a crate because someone's died and I pick one up, um, now it's full health, right? And I've got one. So, like, I think that needs to be tweaked.
I think that's kind of where my like frustration with the time to kill kind of stems from. It's not just just the red shields, but I just think it needs to be tweaked a little bit because I thing I hate most of all is when you're at a range and you take somebody's shield out, you crack their shield, and they literally can just pop behind a corner, refresh it, like, and then back into the fight. I get that, but I also think like it's just a little cheap sometimes. It just frustrates me a little bit. Well,
I don't know. I just, and the gold shield, like, feels a lot squishier than a red shield personally.
is that
You
supposed
know,
to be better?
well, the gold shields are technically like,
They increase your healing.
yeah,
Like
they have
you
like
get more
their
out of
abilities.
Gotcha.
you get more out of med packs. You get more, or like you get more out of the base level healing. So like a shield cell will heal like double, and then a small pack will heal like half of your health.
Yeah, but what I'll tell you is that it's one of those things where in that game, and this is, I mean, I've played a lot of BRs. But when you win in Apex and you get that "you're the champion" screen, they do a fucking great job of making you feel like a badass. Like, they do a great job of just making you feel like, fuck yeah, like, I won, I did this, I owned it, or whatever. and you're more than like what I would say in like Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever else. Like it
Siege feels pretty good whenever you get a good win.
I don't know. I don't. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't play
The
it.
legendary skins make it fun. If you
Yeah,
get get top border
those
leaderboard.
Yeah, the
So-
special victory animations.
Yeah, those are cool.
But anyway, I mean, it's just whenever you get that win, fuck, man. Or you just, honest to God, like when you get it, like I don't even mind losing if I get like 2 or 3 kills. If I wipe a squad, I feel good. I can feel fucking good. You're right. I've never won in Siege. I've never won in Siege. I've never played that game long enough to get a win. So, but yeah. So that's what we're playing. And we'll talk about something else that we played a little bit later on. There's what we played the Outrider demo. At least I have played the Outrider demo.
Yeah,
I think we
I
all
played
have.
it. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
all have? Okay. Well, I'm gonna.
We can jump into it if you
Yeah,
want.
I'm just gonna go ahead and skip and put this up.
I haven't completed it though, but I mean, I played enough.
Oh, I haven't put. I've put maybe 3-ish hours
I
into
don't
it.
think any of us completed it.
I've completed it.
You completed the whole thing? I didn't.
Yeah, I've completed
I,
everything.
I
you can do
didn't
in
sit
The only
through all
thing I
that.
didn't
No,
do-
thank you.
the only thing I didn't do was I just didn't do the different characters. But like I completed everything you could do in that game.
Gotcha.
So all right. Thoughts? What are your guys' thoughts on Outrider?
Y'all go ahead first.
Okay. All right. Well, so for chat, Outriders is you can go and download the demo right now. It's up. It's a free demo. It lets you play until level 7. And you get to play through like a couple of the missions. Like I think there's like 3 main missions and
Some
like
side mission content
like
too.
2 or 3 or 4 side mission contents. Um here's the thing, right? Like I see the draw in it because it's a looter shooter, right? And I guess that's like, okay. So Outriders is it's made by People Can Fly, which made Bulletstorm, and it is published by Square Enix. And you guys know who Square Enix is. And it is a third-person looter shooter with abilities. A lot of people are saying it's like Destiny, but in reality, it's really not like Destiny. I mean, I guess if
I
you're
see
gonna
the
say like
I can
similarities.
see the comparison. Yeah.
it's just the fact that there's 3 abilities and you know if
It's,
There's
got
3 abilities, a
it's
few
shooter,
classes,
you got classes.
shooters,
I can see that,
yeah, I mean
space like stuff.
it's a very like thin line that they go like draw some connection to each other, but in reality this is not a Destiny game. Like if you're just saying because it has abilities, because it's in space, or because it's a looter shooter, that's what ties it to Destiny.
And it's like Godfall
you
too.
Yeah, it's more closer to, in my opinion, to a Godfall, or to like it's like Godfall meets Remnant meets like I don't even want to say Anthem, because honestly Anthem was more open world than
But you
what.
can't say that anymore.
Oh yeah, we'll go into that too. But anyway, like I see the draw in the game, but I don't think the game is not worth $60 fucking dollars. Can anybody here agree that this game is worth 60?
I'd say at most 40.
I'd say 30.
No.
Yeah, I don't see $60.
I wouldn't pay over 30 for this, man.
Yeah, I don't, and people that are like, because there's gonna be people in chat, they're gonna be like, oh, it's got a lot of great content, but the thing is, it's like, look, Square Enix has fucked us before when it came to Marvel, right? Marvel Avengers, which I understand it wasn't necessarily it was Square Enix, it was Crystal Dynamics, but Square Enix still published it, and they were like, oh no, we're gonna give you this, we're gonna give you that, we're gonna give you this.
Square doesn't have any problem pushing subpar IPs. They have no qualms in doing that because it'll make them money still in the long run because their name's on it.
Yeah, and the other side of it is that we have not heard one thing about in-game content. We don't know anything about
it's not a game as a service,
right?
So
but the thing is that they're trying to sell it off as a game of a service.
It's exactly the
Tile.
same thing as Godfall as far as how they're marketing it. It's a scam, in my opinion, as far as that aspect of it goes.
So there's not this whole concept of like, what is the reason for me to get better gear? And I'm a person that, like, I liked Godfall. I like that. I didn't have any issues with Godfall. And I got hooked into Godfall for a little bit and was playing it and whatever else. And I still think that Godfall is a fun game to play.
How's the end game?
It's a loop. I mean, that's it. It's you're grinding to get a better gear, to get better numbers, to get a better gear, to get better numbers, right?
Yeah.
But the difference is, a lot of people are like, well, that's the same thing as Diablo, that's the same thing as whatever else. But the difference is, and like Enigma and I were talking about earlier, is that the difference with Diablo is that there's a lot of RNG. There's a lot of like the levels change, things are different, like the enemies are different, and it's not just the same fucking map over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You know, and we don't know with this, right? We don't know what in game looks like with this because we've not been told what in game looks like with this.
The worst part about this one is like the only thing that we know of.
Did we lose Enigma?
Yep.
Sorry, I had somebody coming in my room.
Oh, gotcha.
The only thing that we know of about the end game is it's I believe that they've said something about a storm, right? Like
Yeah.
they've got some kind of like a storm.
The
This
alien
brings
storm.
this legitimately brings me back to Anthem. Like when Anthem was releasing, the only thing that they would ever say is that they were going to be doing these storms, these big storm events, right? They would never actually tell us what they were, and it's fucking sus as shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings me back to Anthem because like this game, I know you said that you don't like correlate it with Anthem, but there's a lot of shit in this game that does correlate directly to how Anthem has worked and how Anthem is
Who
released.
said it's not correlated to Anthem?
You there earlier you said that you wouldn't correlate it to Anthem. You said that you wouldn't necessarily say that this was like Anthem.
No, the only reason, okay, hold on. The only reason I was talking about that was like the map because Anthem is
Yeah.
an open world map
Yeah,
style. I'm not talking about anything else other than that. Like everything else screams fucking Anthem. Like
Yeah,
this,
no, it's definitely one of those games where I'm looking at it and I'm like, dude, this is sus as shit. Like this is straight up. They're not willing to like give us information because giving us too much information would give us a better option as if we want to buy it or not.
Yeah. I'm surprised people haven't data mined shit yet. I don't know
Oh,
if that. I'm sure they
Well,
will too.
they didn't data mine stuff on Anthem either. It's actually amazingly hard to do that kind of shit, especially with demos, because they only release a very select
yeah.
portion of it out.
The other thing that I will knock them for, so I will praise them and knock them in the same sentence. One is I will say that I think it's good at least that they're giving it a demo, like to say,
Yeah.
hey, come here and try it.
A free demo.
But let me tell you something. That demo is, if you go in there and play that demo right now, like I had fun with it. I went in, I had fun. I was
It
like,
felt
oh,
good.
this is cool. It's a kill room. I went in using my abilities. I was like, this is badass. Blah 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 blah. But you need to take a step back from that and go, hold on one second. Like, okay, it's fun right now. It's in a kill room and whatever else. But what is the loop of this game, right?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing is that I think that because that demo does not give you enough to really understand.
Well, a portion of it is just story. It's just cutscenes. I don't know why they felt the need to place you into like it was a solid like 20-minute intro of just nothing but pretty much cutscenes.
Yeah.
I was like, why?
And that-
Why am I? Why
And
am I
I'm gonna
20
say
minutes
it.
of cutscenes?
I was so not impressed with the story at all so far. I don't if that's like
I-
their
I-
actual story.
All of it.
I'm like, this story sucks. I'm
It's generic.
It's the standard.
space,
It's
find
so
a new
bad.
planet. The main character, they gave no effort to actually make you feel like there's a
Did you
connection
guys
between
choose
him.
the male or the female?
I chose the
Choose
male.
the male.
Yeah, they
You
made
choose the
you.
male also, Sin.
They tried to make you
Okay,
feel
I chose
sorry
the
for this
female.
guy, and I'm like, I don't feel
there a
sorry for
difference?
this guy. I have no idea who this guy is. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is there a difference with the female choice?
Oh, just the voice acting. The voice acting is fucking horrendous on both fronts.
I mean,
Yeah.
the male one was pretty fucking horrendous
It's-
too.
Both are. Yeah, it all is.
It's just, I don't know, man. Like, this, yeah, the story is just crap. I mean, it's just, again, this is a great game if you want a kill box experience where you're just going to load in.
And I can
Right.
see it being a lot of fun with friends because they're saying that there is some like elemental play in it. So if one of your friends has like a one type of build and then you have a fire build, you can like there is like elemental interactions in those
I
builds.
didn't see any of that, and I had players that were playing fire and pest and the ice and whatever. And
What classes did you guys run?
So
I'm running the rogue.
I ran the rogue.
I ran trickster.
Is that the one?
That's
with
the trickster.
That's, you ran
That's
the rogue as
yeah.
well.
So
Yeah.
all three of us ran the rogue, and then
Well, so Plagued ran like the tank, the Devastator.
I was tempted to go with the tank, but I was like, man, I mean,
And then
the fucking rogue looked a lot better.
and then we had the other character, and then Tony ended up running.
He went the fire one, didn't he?
The first one he went like the Technomancer, and then
Techno,
the second
the
one he went
Pyro.
fire. So let me clear this. All right, the comboing that they're talking about is basically is not like Spellbreak or anything like that. The comboing, if it well, from what I can tell, and again, the demo doesn't give you enough to really see it. But the comboing of this is like I'll go in, I'll warp in as a trickster and put this bubble up, right? Which freezes, like slows down everything. And then someone can like come in, dive in, and like cast this like AoE, kind of thing. I did not see in any way, shape, or form like me doing something or somebody else like throwing down fire and then like someone doing like a blast through the fire and it taking the flame. Like
No, it's more like statuses on the enemy. Like if you combine two things, you'll like shatter their armor or something like that.
Yeah.
If they're in like one of the metal shells or something.
like the gameplay,
I'll be right back, guys.
the
Okay.
loop of the game, the gameplay, feels good. Like the shooting in the game, the maneuvering in the game, the weapon, like that.
There's a
kind of
weight
stuff
to it. There's a good
right,
weight to it.
feels good. Like
Yeah.
it feels good, right? So the game feels good.
And I'll say, wait, also, it's actually pretty well optimized. Like, I don't have the best of rigs.
So that was where I was gonna
Really?
get to.
Really? I
No,
don't have a good rig, but
this
I was
game
running it fine.
is- I'm talking specifically PS5.
Oh, you did play it on the PS5, right?
Yeah, I've only played a little bit of it on the PC, and the PC, from what I'm seeing, is light years ahead. But
Yeah, so the
PS5,
PlayStation port must be worse.
it's cyberpunk levels bad. Like the textures are bad. There is desync with the mouths whenever they're talking,
Yikes.
and the audio. The audio will skip on itself, so at the end of a sentence, you'll hear somebody repeat the same thing like 2 or 3 times. Like just it sounds like a CD skip.
That sounds like my PC when it's chugging.
In some of the cutscenes, like so you know the cutscene where you get the piece of rebarb through your chest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I skipped all that shit.
Well, there's a cutscene where you get a piece of rebarb through your chest and you're like got blood splattered on your shirt.
Mhm.
The blood splatter texture you could see floating over top of the texture of your.
That's not
your
how it's supposed to
clothing.
be.
Like the hair does not move. I put my signature undercut on my chick, and it stayed as rigid as she is this way as it was if she was standing straight up. If she got knocked over, there's no hair movement
I didn't have
whatsoever.
that.
The only thing
Yeah,
that I will say that looked good in that is the slow-mo bubble with the bullets coming through. That looked
That was
nice.
cool.
Yeah.
But with the slow-mo, if I slow-mo bitches, they can phase through the barriers at that point on the PS5 version. They can just walk right through them.
It's not there.
Like,
It's just
Wow.
It breaks their collision. The PS5 version of this game is actually fucking broken, like
Damn.
cyberpunk level broken, if not worse.
That's good to know.
Britt and I were I was sitting on my kitchen or my dining room table, like up close to the TV, like looking at this, and it looked like a PS3 game. The graphics were that bad. I'm actually half tempted to do a video on it tomorrow, just because I was so dumbfounded on how shit a AAA game from Square Enix looks.
I'd be interested to see how that looks. That sounds
That's
bad.
crazy. I've not seen. I mean, I'll tell you, the game hard locked my system. And again, anybody that knows my system, like, there's no reason to not be able to like hard locked it. Like, I mean, I had to fucking Control Alt Delete, crash the game just so I could get shit to work again.
I kind of had that, but it wasn't that
I-
severe.
I didn't have any issues with it. I literally started it up and closed it without issue.
Plagued was saying that he was having issues where people were phasing into walls, and he was playing on PC as well, where they were like phased into a wall and you couldn't kill them.
The only issue I did have
That could be
was,
some of the
like,
collision issues that I was talking about
Yeah.
with the slow-mo and stuff.
the only issue that I did have was like when you got into the first area, once you got through the initial like intro story quest bullshit.
Yeah.
My fucking I was getting like 100 frames a second. My frames take to like 20.
Oh,
And just would not.
I can say, right, like, again, yeah, my like once shit started popping off, the frame rate just
That's surprising.
Like,
Mine actually didn't. Like, mine was holding
I don't
steady,
know what the fuck was going on?
but I did lower my settings.
yeah.
So
So
I also want to go out here and say that the tutorial itself is probably one of the laziest, worst
Oh my
tutorials
God.
the
I've.
tutorial is bad. Yeah.
I almost put the game down on, like I said, I was on the PS5, so on top of all the graphical and like just it looking disgusting and playing disgusting, the tutorial almost made me put it down before I even picked my class.
It's the same with me. I was in the chat with Plagued and Tony, two of our other guys that we play stuff, and Plagued's part of the team, but I was in there chatting with them, and I'm like, why do I give a fuck about this story?
The story sucks.
It literally affects nothing as to like why would they put me through 20 minutes of story that I'm not going to fucking remember?
Mm-hmm.
like here's
Don't give a shit about
that.
and just
companies need to get in their fucking head. If they're gonna do a game like this, nobody gives a fuck. Just drop me into the combat. Just go, hey, you're a dude.
Uh,
You pick your class. You got powers. Give me like a fucking intro screen. Like again, I swear to God, Diablo, like Last Epoch, those types of games do a great job being like, hey, there's an underlining story here. We know you don't give a fuck about it or
I don't know.
whatnot.
Yeah.
But
I personally wouldn't agree with that because I do like story.
The
but
option to
in-
find the
in a
story,
demo-
yeah, in the demo
in
especially.
a demo that you should be getting your player base into the fucking game
Mhm.
as soon as possible.
But realistically,
felt
do you
that was
give
a
fuck
terrible
Do you
decision
give a,
'cause-
even let's say this is not a demo. Let's say this you bought this game. Do you really give a fuck about the storyline?
Not with that bad of a story, no, not at all.
That's
But
what
if
I'm
it was an
saying.
actual decent story, then yes, I would.
We don't ever get like we don't realistically.
I
get
think
that
the
a lot.
thing that got me with it was from the very get go, it just felt like generic space shooter.
It was,
like,
yeah.
like just from the beginning, it like I felt like it was Gears of War mixed with Avatar from the beginning, and at that point, I was like,
said that-
okay.
I said that same thing to Plate. I was like, this just reminds me of a shittier Gears of War. Like it's got shit right out of the like even some of the enemies that I saw. I'm just like, it looks like Gears of War enemies.
I mean, it's definitely Gears. I don't like. Here's the thing. There are some things about the game that are good. Like I said, I do think it
Yeah.
feels good. I think that I like surprisingly enough, their skill tree or not a skill tree, but their class. Well, I guess it is their skill tree. Their skill tree is actually pretty decent. Like you can go in a bunch of different areas. But
Is
here's
it
the point.
impactful or is it all
No,
just stat
it
boosts?
doesn't mean shit. It's just
there you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
it doesn't mean a fucking thing. It's just like, hey, add 10% more damage. Okay, that's cool. Like I add 10% more damage. Like literally one of the things the one bar up from my thing is like in fact, I think it is close range combat 10% damage. Like
You see, and that's where Borderlands did
just
things
lazy,
really
dude.
good with their skill trees is they actually made like the skills that you get impactful for the most part. Like
Right.
you have to either do something like if you get a headshot, then you're gonna run 200% faster. And then if you melee somebody, they're gonna set on fire. And then if you shoot somebody with lightning while they're set on fire, they're gonna explode.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like this has like things like nodes that will change stuff, like change your abilities. But my problem is there's only 8 abilities in your class, right? So your weapon, and we don't know because again we haven't been told or seen anything. We don't know what in-game weapons will look like, but it's we don't know if that changes the effect of any of your abilities really to a huge amount or adds an ability, but I can't imagine it
I
does.
can't imagine.
But like,
I thought that they did have. I think Tony and I were watching something where they had. They were looking at like an in-game shotgun that had done something to the tank's like stomp ability or whatever it was. So I think that they do have minor stuff,
Yeah.
but whether it's actual tangible and like changes the class like to an extent of oh shit, if I have this gun, this class is completely different. I highly doubt that.
yeah,
Right.
but so that's my thing is like you can only pick 3 abilities, which
Yeah.
again we talked about like, in our group chat about like, okay, well Destiny does this. Destiny's characters you only get 3 abilities, but the Destiny style, the guns affect a lot of shit. It's they add a bunch of different elements to it. They're all of these different things take in effect when you have the type of guns, right? This doesn't have that. This doesn't have the your guns will say, okay, cool. If you teleport behind this person, then it will slow them for 5 seconds, right? All right. I mean, I get it, but it's not enough, right? There's just, I don't know. I feel like it's just a game where everything was kind of, they just tried to pick a multitude of different things and slam them all together to be like, all right, this is what we're going to go with. And this is great. Again, if this was a $30 game, I'd say, you know what? It's probably worth a purchase. You'd have fun with it. You can get $30 worth of content out of it.
Yeah.
At $60 fucking dollars, absolutely fucking not. Like,
I
absolutely.
also I very much dislike how they've got like the world set up. I feel like there's way too many points that break up the action. I feel like more of an open world styling would have been more ideal for this kind of thing where you can run from one kill room to the next instead of like having to go through a load screen or having to go through a cutscene every single time or go talk to somebody to unlock this then you go like it all feels very disjointed. It doesn't feel like anything's connected. It feels like you're literally just like bouncing around waiting to actually do something.
This game would have been a lot better if it was, in fact, I think an open world game. And I think that would have added
Or even
stuff.
semi-open world. Like put me in like a hub, like you can keep the central hub town, have us go to like different sections or teleporters from there, but once you go to that area is open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
again,
maybe
like
maybe there's
Destiny.
some dungeons in there, but don't block me behind
Dude,
anymore.
it's
Like
yeah, it's so annoying. Like, and even honestly, too, to navigate their fucking map is fucking atrocious. Like, they're like, I don't know, man. I did not see like I'm sitting here trying to like look at their map and be like, okay, cool. This is saying there's a point here. I've activated this banner. I can travel to this banner, but then I've got to like walk over here and talk to this person to get a quest. But then it's going to go to another loading screen where I'm going to go into another room where then it's going to spawn a bunch of enemies and I'm going to kill all those enemies. And then, like you said, then there's a bunch of downtime. And
Mhm.
then I'm going to go into another room and I'm going to kill a bunch of enemies and then there's a downtime. You know what I mean?
I also don't know who thought the idea of having the radar be an only frontward facing ping with nothing else was a good idea.
Yeah, that whole directional system kind of sucks.
Yeah. But I will say to give praise where praise is due, the boss, the three bosses or mini bosses or whatever the fuck they are that you fought, they were fun. I had fun with those characters, like fighting against those bosses. Like the one
I've
guy
only
that like
fought one so far with the fire tornado.
yep. So there's a guy that does a fire tornado across the room. There's one guy that well, here's the thing. They are doing the same shit realistically. One guy's fire, one guy's a lightning. He puts lightning down and
Yeah.
kind of and it'll follow you just like the tornado does, right? And but this one, I don't know if I can't remember if the fire one has multiple fire tornadoes that are going out at the same time or if it's just
I
like
only
one.
saw the one.
So the lightning guy puts multiple ones out, but then he like has this ability where he puts his shield up and like he shields himself and he warps, so that's kind of cool. And then you have another guy that I think is the same fire. Like the other person's another fire person.
Sure,
I,
that's kind of to give you a taste of like the different
Yeah, I
elemental
mean-
types that you'll face
Right.
in the game since it is the demo. But yeah,
it was cool, but to say again, to like do like again, there's great, but there's also bad. Guys, they're bullet sponges. They are fucking bullet sponges.
Yeah.
Like they just it
Well,
is
of course.
really-
That's the only way that you can technically do this kind of stuff. Like, unless you
Yeah.
want it completely just one hit, one kill like that, you're
Yeah,
gonna
but
have to have.
I
both
know
of
that
those
people
of sorts.
bitched and moaned and pissed and griped about like the bullet sponge of the division, and maybe that's just
Mhm.
because it's a realistic
Well,
game.
that's the problem that I had with the division is that like the bullet spongy, the first one that they did not explain it very well. The second one they explained it a lot better because they had like the body armor and shit mechanic that was in the game. But the first one, it was just like there was just like a magical fucking shield that if you unloaded 3 clips into some dude's head, oh fucking well.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, we spent a long time talking about it. Actually, more time than I wanted to spend on this fucking topic. But, it's look,
I think I'm with you. I think if it was a $30 game and they gave us a little bit more information, it would be one thing. But because it's a AAA title price, I can't get behind that.
yeah,
I can't
Yeah.
get for this.
and again, I don't trust Square Enix because they're trying to pitch this as a. All right, they are selling it with the underlining tone that this is a fucking games as a service. They're not coming out and saying it, but what they are feeding you is it's a looter shooter. It's drop in, drop out. There's this in-game thing or whatever else. Again, it's being fed. It's being like the tone of it is a
Everything about this just screams Godfall 2.0, just Godfall with
Screams
guns.
Anthem
Like
to me,
right.
yeah.
yeah, Anthem.
this heavily feels like exactly the same situation, and it'll suffer the same fate Godfall did, where it gets mediocre reviews and then it disappears after a month.
Now watch Epic steal it over from Steam, buy out
Sure,
Steam and
fucking
make it
have
exclusive.
man. Like, take it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
But then but Square Enix also fucked us with Marvel, right? We did the
Yeah.
same thing. They came out there and like, you're gonna get this, and that one they actually sold as a fucking game as a service, and we got none of it, right? So
Yep.
I don't trust
To
them.
be
Yeah.
fair, though, that's just Square Publishing. Like the devs need to be held responsible for both of these titles if they are what they are. Like
Well,
Oh,
I just
100%.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I wonder though, is it how much pressure is the publisher putting on to the devs, and how much is the devs free to allow?
I don't think Square gives a fuck personally, and I think that's why they're willing to take on these titles. I I could be wrong. They could be a lot more handholdy than I'm thinking, but I honestly think they're willing to slap their name on something just to get sales
Yeah.
and get
Yeah,
revenue
yeah.
off of it.
At
Well,
least we got the demo out of it, though. I mean,
It's just like Marvel. They slapped their name on Marvel, and just simply because they knew that Marvel would bring in money.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but
regardless.
Marvel at its core was, I think, head and shoulders above what this game is. Like the storyline in Marvel, well, and maybe that's just because I'm a Marvel fan, right?
I don't know about that. Yeah.
well, we'll have to see
love-
it once this game actually comes out of what it's got to offer.
I mean, at least the kill rooms were fucking bigger than what this is. At least it
Yeah.
had an open world style, right, where you could go down into an area, fly around, do whatever. You like, I don't know. I can tell you that if they were to add shit, I don't know. We'll see. It comes down to we'll see. We'll have to see what this game is.
It comes out in 4 weeks, by the way. So boy, do
does
I
it?
hope that
Yeah.
they patch that console version because it.
I don't think they
We'll
will.
see.
I do
gonna
not
be
recommend
fine.
if you have any interest in this and you have access to a PC, please, for the love of God, do me a favor. Do your boy Bill a favor. Don't buy this on console. Because I guarantee the Xbox version's just as bad as the PS5 version is, and it's fucking bad. I actually went back. You know when I left before we started the podcast? I left to check to see if I downloaded the PS4 version on accident, just so that I would have my facts straight on this. I did not.
Yeah,
Wow.
I can't imagine where the console version's going to be in 4 weeks.
I am curious to see the kind of shit show that they have, because if it, like, granted, we're comparing apples to oranges, but the amount of shit that Cyberpunk got for
Yeah.
that kind of a buggy release, I'm curious to what'll happen with
You
this.
know, I do.
Again, granted, it's apples to oranges. Cyberpunk was a far more hyped up game than this game, right?
Yeah.
But I'm still curious to see what kind of media presence this is going to get if they release like that.
I do believe I'm going to do a video on it tomorrow on the PS5 version, just because
Cool.
it's atrociously, like, the quality levels are mind-bogglingly different between the two, and it's something I did not expect from a current gen console.
That's crazy. Well, we mentioned Anthem several times in this conversation, and if any of you guys were hoping that you would be able to play Anthem 2.0 or holding out for Anthem 2.0, you might as well go ahead and crush that one, boys and girls, because that's all dried up.
Yep.
There is
And anybody that thought that was going to be a thing, I got a fucking bridge to sell you. And
it's done. It's over. They killed it.
Yep.
Which, to be
Anthem
honest,
were
I don't
like
even think they
banned
were-
them.
I don't even think they were really fucking working on
they
it.
weren't.
I think it was
They got the money that they wanted to get out of the game, and it was never. I don't think it was ever meant to be like a long haul thing.
And what's really
personally.
sad is that game had legs. It had
Yeah.
potential. It
had
could
a
have
good
gone,
The idea of it, yeah, but
it could have gone the
pitch?
the distance.
Yikes.
But
I will say I am so fucking glad,
I'm glad I didn't buy it.
that I did not buy that game.
Nope. I am I did the EA Origin, whatever
so did
that access, whatever that was, and played it and was like, okay, all right, and then bounced out. Like, yeah. And for anybody that bought that game, anybody that can still, like, I think they're
Feel bad
keeping
for
it
you.
they're keeping it live. Like,
Yeah,
one
you can
live.
still play the current iteration of it. It's just they've stopped complete development of the 2.0.
Yeah. Well,
They're still going to
and
keep
there's nothing to do in the first one.
Yeah.
Like
they're still going to keep the servers up and everything like that for the original game, which I think they kind of contractually have to for a while, but that's just my opinion. But
yeah,
I would like to see how many people actually still play that game.
yeah. And again, it's sad. I hope. Let's hope that this game eventually gets picked up and bought. By and they sell off the IP.
It's
to
EA.
someone.
They're not going to sell it.
Square Enix gonna buy it.
Yeah.
The one thing that I did like about the whole cancellation is that the reason why I believe the reason why, at least they said that they wanted to focus more on the new Dragon Age game. And the funny thing that happened recently, within like I think the last couple of days, they came out with a new information about the new Dragon Age game that they said that because of the success of Jedi Fallen Order, they are no longer pushing for games as a service for Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age game. So Dragon Age was originally going to be a games as a service.
Again, I don't trust EA for shit. So
we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Anthem is now canceled on that one. Moving to a game that's not canceled, but will soon be canceled, in my opinion. New World got delayed.
Well, yeah.
So,
Honestly, forgot about that.
Again, if you thought that was gonna be a thing this year, I got a fucking
Yeah,
bridge
it-
to tell you.
That was
so
supposed to
it
be
got,
this year.
well, it was supposed to
Yeah.
be in a week.
Really?
It was supposed to be
Yeah.
March 1st.
I didn't hear
was
nothing about
the
this game.
launch of
Oh my gosh.
New World. So originally the game was supposed to come out last year. It's supposed to come out August of last year. Then they're like,
August, yeah.
we need a little bit more time, so we're gonna push and have it come out on March. We'll have plenty in March. So then they're like, oh, you know what? Because of everything that's going on and COVID, and we heard your outcries, we're making more content. And so what they
Dude,
showed,
Why didn't they
what
just crunch? Come on.
what they yeah, right. What they showed, they were like, oh, and we're adding a dungeon. And it's
Yeah.
like, no fucking shit. You're calling yourself
Finally.
an MMO. Like you're adding a dungeon or whatnot. But what the dungeon they showed, like the little bits of that they showed, it's not a dungeon. Like it's just it's an area that you go to and
It's an open world dungeon, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly. It's like the instanced open world dungeons in Elder Scrolls Online,
I
yeah.
never did
So
those.
like
where you walk in and there's like a billion people fucking walking around just killing the same shit.
yeah, so it's just a zone essentially. And so they're like, and we've added new PvP elements and we're tweaking this and tweaking that. I was like, unless you're gonna take the entire game from fucking scratch and rebuild the fucking thing, it's
Like
not gonna
they've
be right.
already done. Like
Yeah, they're like,
I continuously say, like, every time that we cover this game, I continue to say over and over and over again,
mhm, we
this
hear you.
game does not know what the fuck it wants to be. It has an identity crisis.
Yeah.
They do not know if they want it to be a PvP game. They don't know if they want it to be a PvE game. They don't know if they want it to be a survival. They don't know if they want it to be a fucking, I don't know, fucking.
it's in
a
a
whole
rough,
new world.
yeah, it's in a rough spot. I don't know. It's not even in a spot. Like it's just that game
And
is whew,
honestly, like this right here will be 0-3 for Amazon games.
Yep.
Yeah.
If this goes down, like I think it's gonna go down. I think
Wait,
I
this
think it's gonna cancel.
Crucible and what was the other one? This
Well,
Crucible
I
and
can't remember what their original one
they had a
was, but
racing, wasn't it? There was
yeah.
a racing game
Racing
that they had.
game,
that
yeah.
I can't remember what the name of it was, but they've had 3 games, three actual games that they've released.
3 tries.
And Crucible and the other one canceled.
Flops.
Were canceled within a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this one is pretty much going down the same route.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And they want to bring fucking
Lost
what's
Ark.
it called?
Lost
Over
Ark.
to the West, Lost Ark.
Don't fuck with my games. I just
I still say that I've got more kind of like hopes for Lost Ark because they can't really fuck the game up necessarily.
publishing.
The only thing that they can fuck up is publishing it and bringing it to the West.
Well, my hope is that they literally just be like, here's servers for it. Here, go have
Yeah.
fun. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Yeah, and here's what I'll tell you too about New World. Please don't believe any of the fucking people, like all these streamers that are like, oh my god, I'm so excited, I can't wait for New World.
getting
Bro,
paid
they
for
are
it.
on the
Probably
fucking
getting paid, bro.
again.
They're on the
think about it.
payroll.
Yeah.
Think about it. Let's roundtable this shit. Let's bring it all together. What company do these streamers
Yeah.
stream for? Amazon.
Mhm.
What company is making this game? Amazon. Like, duh. Like that's like me going up and being like, I don't know.
Fair fact.
It's just please don't believe them. Please, for God's sake, don't fucking believe them.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. I'm saying don't believe them. You can believe streamers. Don't believe them with this. Like, just be smart about it, right? You can believe us. Like, we're not on the payroll. We're not on the docket. So
But you're not?
I am for Raid Shadow Legends.
yes, he
So-
is. He is being paid for Raid Shadow Legends.
I need my
that's-
pre-patch money. I'm waiting.
I wish I was being paid by Raid Shadow Legends, man. It'd be awesome.
But yeah. Moving on to another topic that kind of came up this week, which is really odd. I don't know why all of a sudden they're getting. Well, I take that back. I do know why all of a sudden this is getting picked up, but we're not going to go political here. But GTA is going to be banned, or they're trying to ban it in Illinois. Did they actually get it banned? Is that
I don't know. This was a
This
story
was
that
a Bill
brought
thing.
up.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
This is the first I've heard of this. And if so, that's
no, I-
crazy.
No, I've seen it because it was a bunch of news stations were talking about how they were they actually used fucking GTA clips to to explain carjacking, but then they use a GTA clip with a like instead of showing the carjacking that happened, they showed GTA, like which was fucking
So
weird.
is this where that stemmed from?
Uh,
This is like when they were doing the gun control
The
thing,
gun
and
violence, trying to
they showed the Gears of War chainsaw weapon, and we're like, you could get a chainsaw attachment for your gun.
Yeah. So like this is a whole thing of like them trying to go down this route of violent video games and they're
Mm-hmm.
kicking up the dust again or whatever else. And basically what it comes down to, and again, not not trying to be political here, right? Basically what it's trying to get what it goes down to is that this whole idea of banning firearms of whatever else is not, there's no statistical evidence that show or empirical data that shows that like firearms cause violence and there's no empirical data that fucking video games cause violence, but they are just trying to do anything that they can go in there and be like, oh, we need to ban this, right? And that GTA is the reason that people are fucking crazy. No,
It's
people are
the
just fucking crazy.
same
Yep.
political party that's been trying to ban video games is again trying to ban video games. They've been
Right.
trying to do it for since I was like 12.
This
Right.
is just
So
wild
they've
to
been doing
see a state try and ban a whole ass game. It's just I think it's funny
Yeah,
to
I
me.
mean,
Like
it's happened in the past. They've tried when GTA 3 was out,
Illinois or like
I
another
remember,
state.
no, the other states. I don't
Oh,
know if it was necessarily Illinois, but when GTA 3 was first released, I remember a lot of states were calling for
Oh
the
yeah,
game to
well,
be banned.
yeah.
yeah, and that and a lot of the sex and stuff like that that was in the game,
Yeah.
like they were just like, it's gonna affect our youth, and it's like, no, it's not. It's really not. And again, a lot of the stuff that shows, like Chad is saying, there are data points that show that actually video games are an outlet, and it
Mm-hmm.
allows people to get a lot of this stuff out and frustration out or whatever else. So, do you want someone to just go and carjack somebody inside a video game, or would you rather have them fucking go out and carjack somebody in real life? You
Right.
know what I mean? So, like, it's
Hey, he's back.
shh, don't talk about him. Stop talking about Siege. It's okay. All right. Siege is a great game, by the way. It's phenomenal. And actually, that's what Illinois should be trying to ban because if they really want to talk about violent crimes, you put somebody in front of Siege, they're gonna go out and probably murder somebody. I'm just saying, the game is
Just
Statistically
kidding. Just
proven.
kidding. Just kidding. Just
Scientifically.
but
Bill, did you want to put your 2 cents
yeah,
in?
2 cents here on the,
He kind of pushed the GTA thing right as you left.
yeah, I didn't know this was your thing.
What?
What?
Oh my god, GTA
Well,
getting banned in Illinois for carjacking.
Yeah,
Go.
what all's been covered already? It's
we just
kinda
talked about
going over our
yeah,
opinion
like
on everything.
what's going on.
oh, it's
I have no
not
fucking
gonna
clue
go
what's
any.
going on.
It's not gonna go anywhere. So yeah, they're trying to. Some old dude boomer up in corporate government bullshit is like, yeah, let's scapegoat video games again, even though it's already been deemed unconstitutional to attack video games for this kind of thing because there's no link to any of these crimes being linked to any of these video games and blah 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 blah. It's protected under the First Amendment and
Yeah.
it's all just really dumb. It's all just really dumb. Like
Yeah.
So
the
have
fact
they
that
actually
it
pushed a bill forward, or are they just trying to?
they've pushed a bill forward.
have
It's
they?
gonna
Really?
get it's gonna get shot down by the courts because it's
course it will.
unconstitutional.
Yeah. It's just
It's
it's
just-
silly.
I was going over it with them prior. Like this is the same bullshit that's been happening since I was like 12.
Yeah,
With
it started.
fucking,
It started with
Rand
Mortal
Paul and
Kombat.
shit.
Well,
Al
it started,
Gore.
it started before Mortal Kombat because it was with
GTA 3, like
no. It was what's that? Night Trap. Night Trap was the first game to have.
Oh, that's right, because of the girls getting like
Yeah.
kidnapped and all that
I,
stuff.
I specifically remember in my age, it was GTA 3. There was Postal. I don't know if you guys remember
Yeah, I
Postal.
remember
Yeah, Postal was a
Fucking
big
Postal
deal.
was a huge one back in my day because of the shit that you
Manhunt.
could do in Postal. Manhunts.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of them. But no, it's so it
Gears of
started,
War for a little while too. They said Gears of War was too violent as well.
Shit.
it started with Night Trap, and then it went into the it went into Mortal Kombat with Sega. And actually, Nintendo got in some heated water over their blaster because it was too fucking. They said it was too realistic of a gun. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Look what we have now.
Right? Yeah.
And this was all before it was
PSRB
like
and
before.
all that
Yeah, this was all before video games were actually put under the First Amendment protection.
And then it then they created the ESRB, and then on the ESRB it went up to just mature. They didn't have AO, and then when games started coming out that were like on the more AO side of things, and they added
Risky.
AO, but they were still
Like the
limited.
one we checked out today.
Yes.
Are you guys playing Honey Pop too?
no.
Oh boy.
Go
Even
look-
even worse.
what was that called? Something succubus. What the fuck was
I
it?
don't
Oh.
I don't remember. You never sent me. It was like Moonlit Succubus. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Something succubus. Go
S-
look up
send
succubus
send
on
that to
Steam.
me later, please.
Don't
No.
do it if you're under the age of 18.
Yeah, if you're under the age of 18, do not go. But
And
to
if
be
you
fair,
are
all
under
the
the age of
fuck
18, why are you listening to our podcast? It's over.
True.
So anyway, so yeah, so it's this nuts. It's not going to pass. But there's a more important thing that I need to talk about. Bill, do you not like candied carrots?
I don't like candy carrots. Fuck that shit. It's
Candy
it's a
carrot.
fucking lie.
Oh my god, dude, candied carrots and like
It's
yams
is
are
the,
fucking
the
amazing.
texture is horrendous. It's like I would rather have yams if I'm going for a sweet like vegetable type dessert type thing. It's
Oh wait,
it's
is
a
that just
lie.
is that
It
just sweet carrots?
It's
candied
like brown
carrots?
sugar, brown
Yeah,
sugar butter.
Oh yeah. Oh,
carrots.
I love that. I just
Oh
call
my
it sweet
God.
carrots.
They're actually the worst thing ever. They're a
No.
vegetable lie.
I'm with you on that one there, Bill.
No, I love sweet
They're
carrots.
trying to sell a
I don't like the
sell
marshmallow
themselves as
stuff
a candy,
though.
and they're not fucking candy.
I can't do yams, man. Like
Oh my
honey-
god,
or
you guys are
sweet
missing out.
yams.
Love it.
Nah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Texture
god.
thing.
It's just
I
when
do love a sweet potato. I will. say I
no,
love a
no,
sweet
no.
potato.
I can't do sweet potato. That made me sick.
Oh,
Makes
dude,
me
I
sick.
love them. Give me a fucking like sweet potato or yam or candied carrot casserole. Fuck, dude.
I don't like cooked or candied carrots, Jake.
Mm.
It's
Oh, God.
it's.
Well, by the way, welcome to Pre-Patch Food Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had
Oh, I like this. Let's get on the topic of food wars.
we had
No, that's
Final
not.
Fantasy cast. Now we're doing the Christmas party segment of the show. Well, running into our last topic, and actually, holy fuck, we may actually end on time tonight. This is crazy.
Wait,
Get your
Uh,
questions
get your
ready
questions
for the end
ready.
of the cast,
Yeah,
by the
I was
way.
going to type
Yeah.
that.
Get yourself ready for any type of questions or comments that you want to put in the chat. Please have it pertain to what we were talking about, preferably. So PS5 had their state of play today.
Oh yeah.
And thoughts. I have some. Obviously, I'm an opinionated piece of shit, so I have my opinion.
Yeah, true,
Um,
true.
I'm gonna be real and say I didn't fucking watch it, so this is all on you guys.
I don't think you missed much. I mean,
Final Fantasy VII is getting a free PS5 upgrade along with its first DLC. It's going to be a Yuffie chapter, completely original content going forward with that. Since Yuffie in the original game wasn't found until you get outside of Midgar in the
yeah,
open
free
world.
update?
The DLC,
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. It's very. I
doubt
couldn't
it.
find if I know the PS5 upgrade is, and they were like tying them together as
Right. That was
So-
what I thought would be free. Maybe.
yeah. So the Yuffie DLC is only PS5, so I think it might actually be connected with the PS5 free upgrade. They didn't give a price point for the DLC or anything. They
they-
just said when it was going to come out.
Wait, they locked an entire content behind PlayStation 5 exclusivity.
Yep. Yeah, you can't play
Good old
You
Square
can't-
Enix.
Well done,
It-
Sony. Well done, Square Enix.
You
mhm.
can't play Final Fantasy VII. It's what's it called? Final Fantasy VII remake. It's not integrate, but it's something close.
Do you know if-
Intergrade. Sorry,
do you know
Intergrade,
Intergrade.
if it's exclusive like completely, or is it only exclusive for a timed exclusivity?
No, the DLC is going to be completely PS5 exclusive.
Wow, man.
Wow.
That's fucked, dude.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, the PS
That's the hot water with it.
Thanks, Sony.
I will agree.
I mean,
That's
rightfully so.
Yeah, no, it 100% is. But I do think it's interesting that they are adding like I said, Yuffie wasn't found until you get out of Midgar after the events of what is the first part of Final Fantasy VII have already been done. They're actually adding a chapter with her in it, and they're actually adding a completely new playable character. So the DLC is her and another dude. I don't know anything about him, but
What?
they are apparently working with Wutai.
Wait,
How
so,
does
so is this all of Yuffie is being removed, or is this just like a separate DLC like story semblance? or whatever you wanna call it?
Just this DLC is
Okay,
being.
I thought you were saying that they were removing all of Yuffie and moving it to the PlayStation. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
How are they?
No.
How are they
Although I
retconning-
will say I don't foresee them doing Final Fantasy Remake parts 2 and 3 with
You don't think so?
PS4 integration. I don't think so.
I thought Are they so? How are they? First off, let me answer your question. No, I'm sorry, Chicken Boy. They did not talk about Halo Infinite in the PS5 state of play. That was I don't know why it wasn't talked about, but it wasn't talked about. It's really weird. Xbox
I
didn't want
wonder
to bring
why.
have their discussion during PS5 state of play. Anyway, um, are they gonna retcon their fucking story then? Because
They already have. The Final Fantasy Remake Part 1 already had story elements that were not available, like that were not in the original play. There's this whole storyline with Aerith and these like ghost army thing that like is either protecting her or trying to get her. It's very convoluted, but
and they're selling
they
this because they couldn't fit it in the original, right? Isn't that what the whole thing was?
I don't know, honestly. I
God, I
don't
have to
know.
think of this.
The whole they've already retconned the story. It might end the same, it might go down all the same like key points to Final Fantasy VII, but they have retconned all of that intermediate stuff. And honestly, I think that's one of the better parts of the remake. I enjoy the retcon stuff. None of it's been anything that I feel is bad.
Yeah, we disagree on those, but that's okay.
You don't even like these games.
Like what games?
Final Fantasy
You're full of
7.
shit. Okay. I liked. I don't. I like Final Fantasy 7. I don't think it was the best Final Fantasy that's ever been made.
I didn't like the original Final Fantasy 7, and I like this one. So that's
But
where
I,
that's
yeah,
where my take is. I thought the original Final Fantasy 7 was a big dookie, but
I
Mhm.
have issues with the remake because of them changing the style, but that's just
Yeah.
me being a purist versus.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the change to action combat style
Yeah,
works.
I'm in the minority in it. I understand.
Yeah.
Like, I'm, and I'm not going to argue that point.
That's
But no,
cool.
I think I mean I thought it looked cool, and I thought that was a cool thing to add. And I disagree.
okay,
I mean,
so the Yuffie update is free with the PS5 uh
at least
upgrade,
that's, at least that's a bonus.
but it is only PS5.
Mm.
There's the kicker.
Yep.
um,
That's awesome.
so they showed the thing that I liked and what they showed. They showed Returnal. They showed actually a lot of gameplay around Returnal.
Fuck
Um,
is Returnal?
so that is
I'm turned off with how that
The
game looks.
why I'm actually that actually
The
like
style of the game, I like when I first saw that game, like the cinematic trailer and everything. I thought the game would work perfectly as like a slow-paced first-person shooter.
Oh,
Instead,
no,
it's like this fast-paced first or third-person shooter, and I'm like,
I remember this.
I don't know.
No,
This is that fucking
it's the one where you
weird-ass
It's that you
space
die and you
bullshit.
reset and it's changed. I like the idea of it. Like the idea is
that'd be
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So when I saw it, I actually really enjoyed. As much as I'm a first person fan, I really love good third person games. And seeing this and like the different elements and how like it showed like okay, cool. When you die, it's not just like a normal roguelike. They're actually like the whole dungeon resets, the enemies reset, which is very much like Dead Cells and another type of roguelike games. But there's a lot of roguelike games that do this that they don't reset everything. They go in like a Souls like style, where it's just the same enemies in the same spot. You just have to learn the pattern.
Yeah.
This is not that. I think it looked cool. I think if I owned a PS5, it would be one of the games I would be excited to play. And actually look forward to purchasing. Because from a lot of people that I'm hearing, a lot of people are just like, "What the fuck is the point of me owning the system?" Like, there's not, and I mean to either of them, to either system. What the fuck is the point of me owning any of these systems?
You got the haptic feedback on the controller.
Now, hold on.
it is really fucking good.
I
Yeah.
will say they're adding that into the new Crash Bandicoot 4 thing or whatever else. And what they showed on that, I'm interested. Like, if I don't know, Bill, if you're gonna play it or not.
Oh yeah,
but,
I'm gonna play it.
like I'm interested to see how that because it has like it talked about like different feedback for those things, and I have heard that the haptic feedback in the controllers is good, like or whatever else. But I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Side tangent with the controller, Sony's actually got class action lawsuits against them right now for the same reason that Nintendo did with the joysticks having drift
Drifting?
issues. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Class action lawsuit with who?
not sure. Can't remember.
Oh,
It's just a public class action lawsuit with for the controller drift issues.
Maybe I'm trying to go buy a PS5 just so we can get in on that.
No, I'm good.
But I figure they'll settle the same way that Nintendo did with just free replacements on the controllers that have drift issues.
Well, if I'm not
That's-
mistaken, I think maybe it's Samsung. But they use the same. I think that's maybe it's Samsung I'm thinking of. But one of those companies uses the same fucking company for both of those parts. Like,
yeah, that's why they're using the same company.
yeah.
But it's I take that back. So it's the same company that they use for DualShock 4 and DualShock 3 joysticks. And I guess they have had issues with that in the
DualShock
past.
3 things were garbage, dude. Those controller, those jerks, the stick drifts on those things were fucking ridiculous. Like I remember seeing pictures of people going like this and hold up their controllers, and their sticks were down here on at the bottom of the.
Yeah, and it's a standard wear thing. I guess these joysticks are only rated for like I think it was like 5 million rotations or something like that.
Jeez.
That's not that much.
No.
Yeah.
Considering you take the joystick and that's a rotation
Yeah.
by joystick. Any movement to the joystick counts as a rotation.
Right.
That's
And you're doing that constantly.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, and then they also showed another game which was Sin. What oh fuck. It's like Saifu. I can't remember. the name. It's
Saifu. Wasn't it
yeah.
Saifu? I think that
I think something like that. Which we don't know anything about it, but what like they showed it was like this like weird cinematic camera angle fighting game, but only in like hallways and like closed in arenas. But like you're going in and like very like much of like kung fu smashing people's face.
that
in,
hallway
like,
scene. I could have sworn it was in a movie or something before. I can't think of it. That exact scene just like was like
Seafood, you know.
yeah.
Well, it looked like something out of like Agent, like a Bourne movie or
Yeah.
like John Wick, where he's just like in a hallway and just fucking people up left and right or whatever else.
I'm watching the one that you're talking. Yeah, no, it reminds me of John Wick's.
Yeah.
There's a scene in John Wick where he
Yeah.
has to go get his dog back or whatever.
I think that's what it was.
But so like it was just it was kind of crazy. Like what I liked about what I saw, I like
It's
the art
good.
style. I thought the
Yeah.
art style was really
It
cool.
was cool.
But there was
I'm
one of the,
watching the trailer right now, and it actually
He got a beard out of nowhere. I don't know if that beard
Yeah,
gives
I
him
don't know what
powers
that-
or
yeah,
something.
yeah, I don't know.
It's a time lapse
He
of some
beat
type.
so many
No,
people.
yeah.
It just sprouted out of his.
Yeah,
fucking-
there's the manpower.
just
Yeah. So yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
no.
I don't know what all that's about, but it did also like it looked like really cool. Like you can engage in the environment like really well, and like the characters. I don't know. It just looked really kind of cool. To play. I hope it comes to PC because I'd like to play it.
Mhm.
I'm watching right now, like the environmental interaction that you can have, where he like kicked the dude through like the glass partition. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, it looks like a really cool little concept of the game.
Yeah.
And then we also saw Deathloop.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember
Deathloop. I don't know. I'm still kind of
has
feeling
potential.
it, but yeah.
The graphic stylings, and I usually like that kind of graphic stylings. That's what's throwing me off with that. It almost seems too simplistic.
I just don't
Mhm.
understand what they're trying to go with. You know, is it
Well,
a PvP game? Is it not a PvP game?
I think it's a competitive task game or something, right? Or,
it just reminds me of like Dishonored. Like,
Yeah, kind of.
well, yeah. I mean, all of those
Pretty
games are
much
like
it.
the same. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, they were developed by the same. They're being developed by the same company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's what
know.
I
I'm
was
just saying that developer they put out very like just similar stuff.
And,
like,
and Dishonored is phenomenal, so
So
Yeah.
is
it,
good.
it,
It is good,
has
yeah.
it has a good potential to do
never
very
played
well.
the second, but
They're-
If,
Two wasn't good.
if they
They're
could,
both very good.
if
I
they
didn't
could
like two as
do
much.
if they could do a actual like multiplayer in it that actually functions and like works properly, that'd be great. Like because I miss games like Splinter. I don't know if you guys ever played Splinter Cell's Pandora Tomorrow, but I know some people in chat like but myself and
have.
Splinter were talking about that. Dude, the multiplayer in Pandora Tomorrow and fucking like the third one or whatever else was so goddamn good. Like I love that spy versus like mercs. Like it was so cool. If they could like pull that kind of element in there where it's like, I don't know, we're trying to go after the same target, but we're taking each other out. It could be
That-
cool. It could be a cool concept,
yeah,
but I don't. I need to see.
got to see more.
I need to see a price tag, and I need to see more about this game.
Well, price tag is definitely
Wait
probably
a
going to be
minute.
60,
Speaking of price tag,
70.
70 even.
Is it $70?
Yeah, because remember all of Sony's new first
Yeah,
party.
but I don't. But that game is also coming to PC.
Yeah,
Oh, is it? Then it's probably not a first
Probably
party.
60.
Xbox is also releasing that game.
It's All
Okay,
all
so
Dishonored
it's
games
over
are
for-
60.
yeah, it'll probably be $59.99 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to redact something earlier.
No, you can't. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna let you.
PS4 owners of the
Nope.
original Final Fantasy VII Remake for PS4 will get the PS5 version for free, but will still have to pay extra for the additional Yuffie content, according to announcement. No price point has been set.
Shit.
Mm,
Wow, man. Square Enix.
Forcing people onto the PS5, man.
That is you guys are
Not
taking the ticket.
not selling enough of the console, so they got to make people buy it.
You are taking the ticket for this podcast. Square
Yeah,
Enix.
man. Square's being a booty hole.
Yeah. So yeah, other than that was really about it. I don't think we missed anything. They showed Solar Ash, which I don't know.
Solar Ash looked cool.
Yeah,
I'm
but
watching Solar Ash right now. It doesn't look. I mean, it still looks good, but it's not.
you know what it
like,
reminds
uber
me of? What was
impressive.
the other game that just came out? That was it Haven? Not Haven. No, what the fuck? It was another game that was like this. That was in that same vein or style.
Scourge, not the Scourge game.
No, not Scourgebringer. It was on PS5. It released with them, and it was like you had a bird, and it was a lot of like sliding and quick movements and whatever. I don't remember it.
There was one other game that kind of piqued my interest though. It was the
Oh God, fucking
no,
dodgeball.
not that one. Even I wasn't even
Oh,
gonna mention that.
we're talking about that.
The it was like it reminded me of like a Spirited Away like third person game. It was the
Like
one with the girl
Kenna?
with the spear. Yeah, Kenna was it?
Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, I don't know. That
Oh,
one
yeah,
looks
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool. It looked like
That
it was like a spirit. Not did I say Spirited Away? I meant
Yeah.
I meant Ori in the Will of the Wisps or whatever.
I don't know where you got Ori from, but anybody ever played Cameo? You guys remember Cameo from the original Xbox 360?
I think I've seen it. I think you showed me it.
It looks legitimately like Cameo.
No,
Like,
just
looks
like the spirity, like foresty vibe and like the ancestors and whatnot. I don't know. Kind of gave me a
Go
Ori
Go
vibes.
look up Cameo, and I'm gonna tell you right now that game looks just like Cameo, or it looks like it feels just like Cameo. So I don't know.
If you want to talk about Knockout City, then talk about
Oh,
it.
yeah, let's talk about Knockout City. 4 years to make a fucking dodgeball.
Yeah, I
game.
didn't know that. I don't know. The only
They
reason
should've
like
done the
it
same thing.
kind of it piqued my interest is because I'm a fan of dodgeball and like that kind of thing. But it really I don't know. I looked
like
at it
Vince
more
Vaughn too.
and yeah, like
I don't think that it
it looks like what's Bleeding Edge kind of what happened to Bleeding Edge.
it better be a
But-
free to play fucking game.
I don't know. It just looked like a fun little knickknack kind of game.
Watching the video that they got, you got it kind of reminds me of Plants vs Zombies almost.
Yeah, I don't know.
in a way.
Just like a mini game kind of game. If
Yeah.
it's anything more than like $20, I probably wouldn't consider it.
Jake, I got you. I know Cameo. I played Cameo. I played Cameo 1 and 2. So, yeah, I don't know about this game. I mean, again, you know what it honest to God what it reminds me of? It doesn't even remind me of fucking like Bleeding Edge. It reminds me of Splatoon.
Yeah, well, that's what
Yeah.
people are comparing it to, like a Splatoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this like goofy, weird fucking Splatoon. Or what was that rollerball game? What was that roller derby game?
Oh, that. Nah, I don't know. I
You
didn't
know what I'm
even-
talking about, though,
Yeah,
right? Like,
didn't.
that roll it reminds me of
Is,
that.
is
Yeah.
this a battle royale?
No, I think it's an
No.
objective game.
Well, there's a
I'm
1v1
just
battle
I was-
royale mode. Like,
yeah, I
it's
was just
1v1
watching like a
circle
mode
shrink
where the fucking
mode. I
circle
don't know.
was shrinking in.
Oh,
I
was
like,
Oh,
"You fucking kidding."
speaking of battle royale, Square Enix is making a Final Fantasy battle royale mobile game.
Oh
God.
my god.
I'm
Set
good.
Set in the set
Of course
in
they are.
I'm
And it's-
good.
And it's called Raid Shadowlands. I'm just kidding. Anyway, sad attempt at a joke that no one got or no one.
yeah,
liked.
no.
Final Fantasy VII prequel
Uh,
prequel mobile game.
yeah, I don't know.
The first soldiers, where your soldier recruits fighting in a war. Yeah.
'Cause that's what I've always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So anyway, yes, that's it. So I mean, I think that was it. That was all of that was on the state of play. I don't remember seeing anything much of else.
Yeah.
I think if anything, honestly, it just, here's the thing I'll say. I think that this just continues to show, like, and I understand Bill bought a console, right? I understand. I'm not knocking him, but
And I before you get into this, I got a thought while we were talking, and I genuinely don't. I do fault them, but I also understand where they're coming from. With at this point, they're wanting to push their titles and stuff for the next console. They don't want to be constantly having to backwards port things. I understand them wanting to do that.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say I don't think there's an. I think it just doesn't. It still shows it doesn't warrant buying these things yet. I just don't think there's.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
not enough, like compared to what PS4 had on launch.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
minuscule.
Go ahead.
This is still a better launch than PS4 had at launch, I think.
well, I don't know.
I think
don't know if
PS4 had more to offer at
PS4 had a
least.
lot of games.
I would say it's a better launch in the way of that the PS4 was buggy as shit when it first launched, and this one
Yeah.
isn't.
Their network sucks.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that. I don't know. I think please wait. Like people are saying, oh, they're selling out. That doesn't mean if you only put one in stock and someone
It
buys
just means that their
doesn't
stock isn't
mean-
there for the demand.
Right. So, I don't know. I
We've covered it as well. They came out recently saying that their Japanese markets, which I would believe should outsell the American console sales, given that it's a fucking Japanese console.
I still
was
think
the
it's the
worst
fact
of the
that
year.
they don't. They're still selling out consoles everywhere. It's still impossible to get one. So.
Yeah, but again, they're selling out consoles, but they're not filling the demand. You can
Right.
sell out consoles
Right.
if you put 3 consoles on a
Just
truck and ship
same-
it out, then you're still selling out the consoles. You're
Right.
not giving up the demand though.
It's still a sales ploy. It's still a marketing ploy. It's still. I mean, we saw it with Nintendo with the Wii. We saw it with the Switch. We've seen it with the 3DSs. We've seen it. Nintendo is notorious for this shit. Of doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyway, so that brings us to close, guys. And opening it up to the last part, which is our questions. And again, if you are not listening to us live, we open the last bit of the show to our chat. To ask questions, and we go through and answer them. So it really behooves you guys if you can, tune in at 10 p.m. Eastern. When we do these every other Thursday across all of our channels. So yeah, Bill, I think you've got questions.
I think you had the questions.
Yeah, I had a couple questions. First one, what would be our reactions if the GTA 5 suit was successful and it was banned, and further, if it were banned in multiple states following this ban?
Well, I live in. Oh, good.
Do you think, I'm just going to kind of supplement it with, do you think that, how do you think the gaming climate would change in regards to that going through, which it's very slim
Highly
chance
doubt
that
it's
it ever
going to.
would, but in a hypothetical world where the government redacts video games being protected under the Constitution, what would you say?
It's a slippery slope at that point,
Yeah,
Like they start banning GTA, which granted GTA 5 it's got its fucking spicy moments, but like honestly, in my opinion, it was one of the less fucking controversial GTAs in the past.
What would banning
GTA.
this do? Just like deny the sales of physical copies?
Yeah, it would deny the sales of physical copies, and I guess if
It
you were
also
caught-
go forward into their next game. If they ban GTA 5, they can't sell GTA 6.
Yeah, and I would
in those
assume it would
states.
make anybody who currently
Right.
has access to it, they would have to void the purchase, void it off their console if you're found. It would be basically the same as if a particular banned firearm was found in your possession, you'd be subject to fine.
It just seems so
So
surreal to me.
I am very happy that I live in the fucking state that I do because they don't ban shit like that. They would
Yeah.
they'd rather secede from the fucking union than they would to give up that. So I just I mean, in a hypothetical world, if that were to ever pass, I would leave that state.
Yeah.
I would, and if it was a pass just nationwide, I'd get the fuck out. Like, you're banning, you're banning free speech. You're banning free
Banning
art.
art.
Oh,
You're banning art and entertainment.
Mhm.
and at that point,
It's a slippery slope to the Nazi portion of that. At that point,
you are
Yeah.
putting into place things that are basically saying that you
might
are
as well
giving
just start
the government
burning bugs again.
the ability to police myself and my kids, and what I, deem them as necessary. So, sorry.
Yeah.
I would
agree
be skeptical
completely.
that at that point it would go into all other forms of entertainment media. I could
would.
see them doing the same thing with movies. I could see them doing the same thing with music or books, like you said. Like it is a slippery slope,
Yeah.
and once you let one form of media take the fall, it's very easy for
It can stem to a
open
lot.
up to others. Yeah.
to a lot of others easily.
To to answer the question directly though, if it did happen in my state, I would resist. I would play the game anyways. I would install it.
I think
haven't
a
had
lot of
GTA.
people would. I mean,
I
there
haven't had GTA 5 installed in ages. I would fucking play that shit.
it would give you fuel and reason to play. That's the
I would-
rebellious
I
side
would-
of
I would,
Enigma.
I would send
hours
a
to be part
video
of
to my representative, my state representative, with my fucking finger in the air, going, "Hey, buddy, come and get me. Fuck
Yeah.
you."
Yeah. So that's that. Bill, I think you have another question, and I have a question
Yeah.
as well from my channel.
What are your guys' genuine thoughts of Oddworld being cut entirely? And I want to kind of also piggyback
New
on this.
New
one.
World?
Oddworld?
No, New World,
Or
right?
New World, sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, Oddworld? What the fuck did we talk
Sorry.
about? Oddworld?
Odds of New World
Oddworld
getting
is the game coming
Yeah.
out, by the way. which
Yeah.
is-
It is. That it was in the state of the play.
odds of New World getting cut. And I kind of want to piggyback on, if they do cut it, do you think it could be recycled into a different project, or do you think it'd just be DOA?
It won't get cut. It'll come
Uh,
out, and then they'll cut it, just like they did their other game.
Yeah, it'll definitely come out. I think
Odds-
it'll last for a little bit longer than their other games. But
Odds are extremely low that it'll actually get canceled right off the bat.
Yeah.
I genuinely I think what's going to happen, they're going to release it finally. They're going to release it into early access. Maybe I don't know. They might release it full tilt and just be like, yeah, you get what you
I
get.
think it- I think it-
What'll happen is they will continue to fuck with it. They will continue to mess with what the game generally is and continue changing it until their player base stops playing the game because it's not what they bought, and then they'll cancel it probably.
I give it maybe 6 months, maybe a year. If you're lucky if you get a year. You're
Yeah.
lucky if you get 6 months. But I think you'll probably get maybe 6 months out of it.
Yeah.
and they'll
I think they've put so much time and investment into it that they'll give it a good shot.
mm-hmm.
The thing with Crucible, if I remember correctly, they used a lot of assets from another game.
Yeah.
But
Well, what's funny is that you see we didn't hear a lot, like we saw New World, but we didn't hear a lot about New World, and then
Yeah.
Crucible got canceled, and then we started hearing a lot about New World, right?
Yeah.
And so I see that same rotation. I think what you're going to see is New World comes out, it's going to be there. We're going to hear about
It-
Lost Ark, and then all of a sudden New World gets canceled,
New
Lost Ark
game.
gets put in the thing, and then
What was-
boom, you know what I mean?
what was
Like
the
they're
end of that?
rebounding on each of these games.
What was the end of that question as well? I know there was another.
If it did get canceled, would it get pushed into something else?
Oh,
But
I
since
think
we
so.
don't think
I
it'll,
think so, yeah. If it got canceled and they continued to make games, they would 100% reuse the assets.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So I have a question that was asked, which is from Stevens. I actually have two questions. Stevens asks, "What are each of you planning on playing in the near future?" That's a loaded fucking question. I mean, right now, I mean, I don't know.
There was-
Realistically, the near future, there's not much that's on my radar that's just like gotta have it, gotta need it, gotta want it, kind of thing. Okay, well, I do have my eye on the Diablo 2 remaster, but I don't have a lot of.
I was gonna ask if you were gonna bring that up.
We didn't. Yeah, I didn't get to talk about it.
They're gonna fuck it up, man.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Blizzard. Like this is okay. Myself and Enigma. I don't know. Bill, did you play a lot of Diablo 2 at all?
I barely played any.
Okay, so then me and Enigma, together probably have dumped
My fucking life, man.
lifetimes worth of time into Diablo 2.
And they did
I
necromancy,
still-
right? Enigma, right? From what
What's
I heard,
Yeah.
they did necromancy how you like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Diablo 2 was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they can remake it, I mean, I'll fucking play it if they can do it correctly.
Again,
Like,
just don't fucking touch it. Just
yeah, just
remake
leave
it.
it alone.
leave it alone. Like
Yeah.
the game is,
Leave it the fuck alone. Give it a facelift.
and I think
That's all I want.
and honestly, I really don't want to wait till 2 weeks, but I want to keep the show going. We need to talk about. We'll talk about this about Diablo 2 remastered on the next show. I promise you guys. because
It'll
I
be
do
a
wanna
long
talk about
topic,
this and
yeah.
Project Diablo 2 and where these two are going to be. Like, how do they live and coexist in the same
Yeah.
place? But I do not trust Diablo. I do not trust Blizzard. They fucked up World of Warcraft, or not World of Warcraft. Well, they're fucking up World of
Warcraft
Warcraft.
3 Reforged.
But they fucked up Warcraft 3 Reforged. They fucked up StarCraft with their remake on that one. So like they are batting, an 0 for 2 right now. I cannot imagine that they're going to, you know, and maybe I mean Warcraft 3 was pretty well loved by RTS fans, and so was StarCraft. But Diablo is a whole other level of like
Yeah.
love for that game. Like you cannot fuck this up. Like please don't fuck this up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's mine is probably Diablo. Too. And maybe if one of these MMOs come out, Ashes of Creation or
T-
Pantheon.
Yeah, that's the key word there.
It can't be worse than the Warcraft 3 remake.
Oh,
It fucking can.
It fucking can, sir.
It absolutely can.
100% it can. Do you not have a phone?
Yeah, dude. Watch them put in the fucking real money auction house. Dude, like all of their bad ideas are gonna put in there. Like, oh god.
As for me, I think on the horizon, Endwalker, probably the next one. Final Fantasy 14. Looking forward to that, obviously.
I'm trying to pull up my Steam list to see if there's anything I have a wish list.
I that's really the only thing. Like this year has been so slow on video games. Like even into last year, that I've just like the only thing that I was looking forward to was Cyberpunk, and I played that. I played that for forever now, and I'm just looking forward to when they actually push patches in for that. So
Yeah. I'm looking at some PS5 games coming out. The new Ratchet and Clank, I'm really, really excited about.
That looks good. I that trailer we got in the state of the play, wasn't that the same trailer that we got before? Like pretty much.
Yeah, they haven't.
pretty sure
really
that was just
changed much
recycled.
info on
Yeah.
it or anything like that.
So.
Really excited about that. Elden Ring, whenever that decides it wants to surface.
That's funny.
that's
yeah.
a unicorn, Bill. You know it.
Yeah. And other than those two, there was a third one, and I completely lost it.
It's Puyo Puyo
Gone.
Tetris 2. I'm actually Octopath
Oh,
Traveler.
Final
2.
Fantasy 16. Sorry.
Yep.
Ooh, that's a good one. Actually,
Yeah.
I do want to play 16.
It's not confirmed Octopath Traveler, but it's Octopath Traveler 2. Yeah.
They're making Octopath Traveler 2, and Octopath Traveler 1 is amazing fucking
I
game.
would love to play that game.
Yeah. Bill, anything or Scruff?
I mean, honestly, since I just kind of started diving into Final Fantasy, probably just more of that. Get to the expansions and whatnot. But nothing new released wise. But I did just pick up the full BioShock collection, which I played them just briefly in the past, and I loved them. But like, I'm finally, I think, gonna like sit down and actually, experience them. So
What about that 9 to 5 game? You're not excited about that?
no. No, that game was a dumpster
That
fire.
was so bad. That game
What
was
was that remind or that seems familiar. Was that shooter?
That was
game
the
that they announced before?
3v3v3 shooter game
so
that
bad,
they
man.
don't
I
know
think I
what's
have
going on in that
a
game.
beta invite for it. that
Yeah.
I've had for like forever. And I'm just
Yeah,
like,
it went
"Eh."
into open beta. Me and
There's-
Sin tried
it's-
it, and it was just
There's
so
a 9 to
weird.
5, and then there's another game that is in that same. It's that co-op or competitive shooter, but it's not 9
5
to
to
5.
9,
No,
No,
it's
no.
3 to 6,
three.
Yeah, maybe something like that.
2 to 4,
Yeah, I gotta work
Uh,
1 to 6. I think.
11 to 20. Which one are we talking about?
Yeah, the game. No.
I forgot what it was called, but it's another shooter.
Yeah.
So and also to the Oblivion game. I'm looking forward to that, whatever that may.
The Oblivion game. ESO.
No, not Oblivion. Obsidian. Sorry.
Oh, Avowed.
Oh,
yeah.
Valve.
Actually, that
Yeah.
one. Yeah, I could put that on my list too. I forgot
Is
about
that coming out this year?
No, well, are we sticking to games that are coming out this year? Or are we
You're
sticking
right.
out, forever?
I don't know. That's what I took it.
If we're
as.
talking, if
I
we're talking
think
about forever
it's-
games and WildStar 2, whenever that
That's never
decides to
coming
come
out. We all know that.
If we're all
Um,
talking unicorns here.
All right, last question, guys. And this should be pretty quickly. Would you guys be interested in if they made Lost Planet 2? Or Lost Planet 3?
3. Yeah, I was checking.
Yes,
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed Lost Planet.
enjoyed
1
Lost
and
Planet.
2. And
Lost Planet 2 was dope. It was
It
very
was.
underrated. It went way too far under the
Mm.
radar.
yeah,
I don't
I
think I
actually,
played
I
Lost
actually
Planet.
looked to pick that game back up if the servers were still live, and they're not. You can't play on
That was one of the few games where like a quote unquote timer mechanic didn't give me severe anxiety.
Yeah, I love the chill, like the frost mechanic, and like the
It was
all of
fun.
it was a good game. So yes.
Never
I enjoyed
played.
it. I would definitely look into it. Yeah.
Did you ever get to play it, Scruff?
No, I never played Lost Planet. I've seen them and stuff, but never played.
All right, yeah.
It was
it's
ahead of
really
its
good.
time.
Gotcha.
But other than that, guys, thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
Chat all across all platforms. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out. Great show. As always, we love to do them, and as always, we hate to see them go whenever they're done. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, guys. On Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We will go live again and bring episode number 30 to the world. So you guys make sure that you hang out. I don't know, any of you guys streaming after this? I may stream. I don't know yet. I haven't decided.
Yep.
Scruff's going to be playing some Final Fantasy 14 from what it looks
So
like.
we're not gonna be doing For the King. Yeah,
No, I think I'm gonna jump into Final Fantasy again tonight.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
In any case, I may come online. I don't know.
I will not be live.
But yeah.
Nope.
Anyway, guys.
Tomorrow, Ark birthday stream for one of my community members. If anybody's interested in Ark, come by and wish him a happy birthday. We
Nice.
sung to him earlier, but yeah.
Well, there you go. Thank you guys for being here. Check out the show, Exclamation Mark Podcast, and all the channels. Go on Spotify, fucking download the damn thing, and go to our YouTube channel and like it. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.
Deuces.
Bye.
Later.
Installation. Let's